Hey kids, good morning. Mark Miller here. Let's get right into it. We are building a property editor, our own custom property editor. And there it is right there. Just want to make sure I got my phone nearby just in case there's anything I need to pay attention to while we're doing the show. Let's jump right into it. Here's the app we're working with right here. It's our map spike that contains our Dungeons and Dragons map editor inside of it. And we were playing around with this yesterday, and winds were high down here in Costa Rica, and we got hit twice with power outages that lasted well over an hour. I think one of them was about 3 hours for me, and so that seriously hampered our ability to live stream. But it also gave me an opportunity to think about how I'm going to solve this problem if this happens in the future. Normally, power is relatively solid here. There are brownouts that happen maybe once or twice a month. Battery backup can get you through those. But I am considering a more robust solution for the future. Something that automatically switches on and can power maybe half of our house, the most essential pieces. Keep the studio running and also like refrigerator, things like that. All right, here's our map editor with our very simple map inside of it right now. Let's make the floor a little more interesting, and we'll drop an item down on here like this, and we're talking about the property editor. Let me also bring up PowerPoint. And we'll look at the spec that we had for this that we put in here before. So right now we have this. We're in the middle of this, and we just died in the middle of it. Power died. We tried to do it twice. We got to the point where we got a little button up here, and I kind of wanted to change the way this works. If I click on this, then I want this open, but otherwise I want it closed. Right now it automatically opens when I selected the item if I've made an adjustment. For example, to contrast fruit like that. So if I click on it now, it'll always open up, but I don't want that anymore. Now what I want is when I click on it, for it to always be that little icon off to the side. Here, let's do this. Let's take another one and drop it down, much like this right here. That's what I want it to look like right there. So I'll have a button that'll allow me to bring up the color controls, and I'll have another one that'll allow me to bring up the property editor. Put that over here, I think, and then when you click it, then it'll pop right up there and we'll be able to work with it. So that's kind of the idea. That's what we're looking for, a little bit of change in behavior, but then each will have a little X button that we can click on to close it and restore to normal view. I think these are going to be, just realized no music. Rory's going to be in about 50 minutes. Looking forward to that. Let's see, what was I going with this? Oh yeah, the question of whether these are up or not, I think is going to be a session-wide setting. I don't think it's going to be local to the stamp. In other words, I might in the stamp say have the hue, the color picker up, and over here I might have the property editor up, and when I come over here, I think I want the property editor up over here if that's what's been up, right? So whatever that option is. So we need an option that says, hey, whether a really pudding? Ah! Mr. Announcer Guys, it says a warm welcome to the pudding. He's now in the house. watching from a safe distance. It's going pretty well, I think. I think I've got power today. I don't hear high winds outside my window, so I think our chances of having a sustained broadcast are higher. Yeah, it's definitely back. It's definitely back. But related to this, we have a problem in the house where we've got one of these Insta-Hot water heaters off to the side, and that thing is tripping our main house circuit breaker. If you like get in the shower and turn on the hot water, and then like you do it long enough that there's enough stress on it. So I gave explicit instructions, no hot water usage while I'm streaming. We'll see how well that goes, and hopefully we'll be able to not be interrupted. Oh, voice volume seems low. Let me check that. Check it. Okay. Yeah, I can crank that up a little bit. That's compared to fanfare. Let me do this. Let me drop that a little bit. How's that? What are we looking at there? Probably, maybe you haven't noticed much change. Let me do this. Check it. Oh, you know what it is? Hold on. Let me undo what I just did here, because I realized this sometimes happens. I bump the knob. Oops, that's way too high. There we go. Check it. That's probably good, right about there. How does that sound? Too much. Let's drop it down. Check. I gotta, oh yeah, you're right, I see it, I'm sorry. Let me drop the gain down here. Check. It may still be too high. Check. Do I have what?
A mill.
Oh, okay.
What?
Well, there's like a grain mill or a 1,000 colones. Okay, there you go. Because I don't have a grain mill. I'm like, what? A mill. This one's better? All right, note to self, record all of that, all those settings over there, and make sure I'm going to tape down my zoom, because that dial is so easy to adjust there. Okay, so we'll have a global setting here that says whether a particular item is open or whether it's closed. I think that feels good. Now let's go look at the code, figure out the code that we wrote, weeks ago, I think, maybe, that decides whether to put this up or not. So we've got this color controls right here. Whoa! Everybody stand back. Codebase Alpha is here. Gotta follow Codebase Alpha, kids. Wait for a stream to crash. That's that's pretty much my entire life, now that you mention that. I've given sessions where I've had 3 laptops in series. There's one and 2 developers assisting. One developer is rebooting the laptop that just crashed. The next developer is getting it set up to hand to me, and the one I'm working on is using incredibly beta software that's about ready to, that could die at any moment. I was showing off a beta version of another product from another company at a conference once, and we had that going, and it was needed. And I've been in conferences where I've been like, oh no, I need this thing, I don't have it, can someone from the audience give it to me? Always like, people are really not so much there to learn technology, they're more there just to watch the train wreck. Crash. Cryptodor is out there. Sorry, but I think the gain is too high. It seems when you get more excited, it's more crackly. Oh, thank you so much. That was perfect information. I'm going to drop it down a little bit more. Oh, I got it. It's right about there. So how is that, kids? How is that? So here's my normal voice, and then here's my whoa! Tell me what you think about those settings. I might actually be able to. I'm almost a professional here, kids. Hold on. I almost have the ability to listen to hear what you say at the same time just by plugging in this earphone and this ear. Hold on. Check it, check it, check it, check it, check. 1, 2, 3. That's okay. I'm fine. I'm okay with that, I think. Here's my phone volume. Check, 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 check. Check, check, check. All right. Let me know what you think about that, kids. There was a flicker, Rory, when you arrived. I don't know if you noticed it or not, but it was just like... See how people go nuts, Rory, when you show up? Do you see that? They're not here to see me, Rory. They are not. It's the train wreck until Rory shows up, right? The train wreck till Rory shows up. And then it's everybody's like, look, with proper minding, Mark can actually do something, decent. Yeah, he is the true star. Freedom DAO is hiding. We won't let anybody know you're here. Yeah, he's the true star of the show. Whoa, Sex Positive is here. Look at this. Those guys are bad. They look like they're going to get our audience. If only Sex Positive was here. Take care of the patriarchy. Get him, Sex Positive. In the house and running for president of the United States of America. They just pull Sex Positive just behind Elizabeth Warren. It's okay, Mark. There's still a small room in our hearts for you. That's like my my Christmas cards for my parents every year. I get those. They're so sweet. All right. Okay, let's see what we're going to do. Let's figure this out. So visibility here, we set to true. What? I feel like this is not the only decision. It's only if we can see it. That doesn't make sense. I feel like there is... Ooh, here we go. That's the code. Okay. Giant laser bird. Yep. Freedom DAO. So this is how we're hiding. This is what we're doing. We're hiding it, and we create this alternative button instead. Peacock needs a crown. Sex Positive, you would say that. Don't get me started thinking about stuff like that. I need to figure that out. Oh, I just realized I got my drone on screen up here. Let's say goodbye to my drone. Boom. I'm just trying to think about what I want to do here. So this part creates and populates. This populates the color control, is what this does. If it's there, if it's available, if it's got enough space to show itself. And the code here isn't quite right here, but I think what we need to do, what's going on with this? This back up here. Okay. I kind of feel like it's going to go like... Let's start with an extract method here, I think. Or maybe I shouldn't have closed it down, but... I can't get an extract method. Why not? What's going on with that? Do I have to reselect it? Is it because I was in edit continue? Look who's here with us, kids.
Surely is in the house.
Surely have. Beware. And he's back, feeling better than ever. Glad you're here, Surly Dev. Glad you're with us. Sex Positive's here. Rory's peeking in on us. Cryptodor's with us. Freedom Dow's here. First time I've seen you, Freedom. I think. Welcome. What do we got here? A lot of parameters. Ugh. Surgery effects are still kicking my arse. Yeah, no, I am empathetic with that. What do we got? We got so many things. Do I need? I really need all of those. Yeah, I'm passing them all in here. So I guess that kind of makes sense. Okay. So I'm kind of thinking the color controls is not dissimilar, or maybe a more positive way of saying it is similar to the property editor we want to build. They're similar behavior, and so I kind of want to build them and have them kind of working in the similar ways, especially the code that decides whether to show the other button is what I think. And so I'm kind of feeling yeah, let's start with an extract method. See what happens. All right, so there's my build color controls. This uses get color controls. What's that do? That's just a find resource there. Let me play around. Let me change this up. Wait, how many, where are we using it? We're using it in a couple places? Okay. Let's get back out of here. I actually think I want to not use it here. And I want to promote that to a parameter, I think, and we're going to say this the content control name, like that. And everybody's here all at once, kids.
Copper Beardy is in the house.
Just going to pour a little bit of water there, but I don't want to pour it on my keyboard, so I got to be careful. Copper Birdie of Grayskull. Okay. All right, so we're passing in. What are we passing in here? Selected hue shift, selected saturation, selected lightness, selected contrast. Add stamp selection buttons. What's going on here? This is add stamp selection buttons. This is where we're going to go get a whole bunch of settings that are consistent for the mod. Yikes. I don't know if I want to do that, though. I'm starting to think I don't want to do this. Even though they have similar behavior, I think I want to do something completely different for properties because I want it to be extensible. I want to be able to add a property, have it automatically show up in a property editor, and also be able to tell which ones are consistent as well. So let's maybe undo. Can I do that? Okay, we're back to the beginning. Come on. All right. So we're back to where we were. This part, let's at least fix this and work on this piece right here. So I think we're going to have a dictionary of content controls that'll have the status is what I think we're going to do. So I'm thinking something like this, a new dictionary of content controls that are Booleans, like that. And I'm going to call this CC status. I always get nervous when I abbreviate things in variable names. So we'll call it CC status is what I'm going to call it. And then I think what I want to do is I want to say if CC status.contains key. Love that Hungarian notation, says Roy. Oh, and you've repotted me. Copperbeardy says Copperbeardy's growing actual real life sunflowers, and one of them is called Code Rushed because I think it was the fastest one to jump out. Codebase Alpha says yuck, Hungarian notation. It's all right, kids. We can all find a way to get along. Slide number 23 over here is the one we were looking at yesterday. These are the properties for the stamp, and this is what I want to create the property editor for. If I add a property to it, and we did this code yesterday, it actually started to look pretty interesting. Where was it? It was base stamp properties, I think is what it was called. That right there. And we added properties and gave them this value. And if that was the case, they were going to show up in our property editor. That's our intention. This editable property attribute, we just created this ourselves, just like that. We give it a display text property like this so that we can initialize it optionally. I think one of these is using this at least. There it is, strength to move. So instead of seeing this for the checkbox name, we see strength to move as the checkbox name. That's what will eventually get there. We don't have that code written yet. So we're just started with this idea of doing this. We're a little bit paused here. We're kind of like, what are we going to do? Because we have another functionality similar to what we're doing, and we want to kind of consolidate everything. We want the behavior to be the same. We want them to look with similar behavior. So I'm going to go in here and I'm going to say, hey, look, if my CC color controls, so if my CC status, CC stands for content control, contains key color controls, then I'm going to come in here and CC status of color controls, meaning, okay, true means what? Oh, yeah, that's not good, is it? We need instead an enum that's going to be, call it content control status, and we're going to have one of them be open and the other one be closed. And that's all we need, just those two right there. All right, and then we're going to make our dictionary be of those status elements, because it's way better than bools, right? Codebase Alpha, forget everything you just learned, Pudding. That bad, huh? Okay. Let's see, where are we? We're down. We've got our CC status right there. So now we're going to say, hey, if the status of that element is equal to content control status dot closed, and we only create it if there's enough space. Maybe we should create it all the time. No, I'll go ahead and stick with the original thought process behind it. So we'll say not null here, and that right there. By the way, kids, I'm using CodeRush. Able to write that code really fast here. Just to show you what I did, I typed in NN spacebar. It takes what's on the clipboard, gives me that. I typed in AND, which is actually 3 letters, but they're all easier to hit than the and require less precision than holding down the Shift key and giving me the double ampersand right there. So that's helping me out right there. There comes something like DCCB status Kappa. Yeah. Yeah. Fred, any thoughts on Hungarian notation, buddy? Okay. All right. So what do we got here? We got blah, 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 blah. And if we're closed, then we're going to, well, let's do this. Let's break this up. I think I got a CodeRush refactoring here where I can split the conditional right at the ampersand right there, right? So I put the caret on the ampersand, I say split conditional, and then now it gives me this, which is what I need because I really want, and maybe even split it here as well. Boom. Like that. Because now I want to kind of do an else on this, I think. But do I want to add it if it doesn't contain it? I don't think I want to do it. Scroll down. We missed that. What did we do? I moved up. Oh, I know what you're talking about. I was here, right? Yeah. So I was here and I typed in NN right there. NN inside an expression gives me that. NN, I don't think it'll do anything here. No, it will do that. But it gives me a semicolon at the end of it. So anyway, NN gives me that there, and then I type in and like that. That's what happened. What does DCCB stand for? That's, I think, the example, referring to the example up above there. Not in my code. Cryptodor, I'm hoping to utilize it better. I was trying to find pre-configured templates for best practices. Okay, cool. Well, you know what? How about when dictionary content controlled? Oh, Boolean. Got it. Yeah, that's all scary. I like to make things human readable because you've got all kinds of different levels of programmers out there. Is reason number one. Reason number two, well, at least for me, I find that specifying the type with abbreviations in the type name is generally not good. Although I am using it here, but it's probably the only place in thousands and thousands of lines of code that I'm actually using that. Simply because it was just like I felt like it was getting too much here. Content control, and the essence of it is the color controls. Tell you what, let's do this. How does that make everybody feel? That's feeling better, isn't it? And let's take our status. We're going to say this. We're going to call this our. I'll go ahead and give it the big name: content control status, like that. All right. Now we're better. Okay. So anyway, let's see. Content controls is not. Color controls is not null. I think I want to do this instead. I like the defensive approach instead. If it's not there, let's add it. So we're going to say add, and then we're going to add color controls. And so the question now is, are we going to add it open or closed? I think it's going to be closed. That's our default. Okay. So now we've just added it. And then now at this point, we're guaranteed that it'll be there. We can remove those block delimiters. We don't need those. So by the way, as I use CodeRush, a couple things are happening. I'm hitting num0 all the time, or control dot. Your choice. If you've got a numeric keypad, you might want to do the num0. I should also show you Cryptodor. If you go to CodeRush menu, which could be in extensions depending on what you've selected here, but you go into the setup wizard over here, and one of the options that I strongly recommend if you have one of these giant keyboards like I do, and unfortunately I don't have the keyboard cam up today, but the option is here, numeric keypad bindings. And I'm using this one a lot. Use this one a lot. I use this one a lot, and these two as well. And good news, kids. This button is going to be, I think, a default coming in a future release. The cool impact of that is that Mark Miller says there's something you do all the time that we want to, that's important enough to put here, and Coders is going to start handling that for you. So that's, we're expecting that in future release. So anyway, good news there. What version am I using? Let's see. There's your answer to that. I don't have a nice way to copy this. No. I think I'm going to call this a CodeRush issue. It's not a big one, but I'm going to let the devs know about it. All right, devs, it would be kind of nice to come in here and right-click this, copy this to the clipboard in some way, like a right-click, some discoverable kind of thing. And I don't really seem to have a way to do it. I can't even select like my version number or anything like that. Just trying to get some data to share with folks. And it's a minor issue, but I'm thinking, hey, it would be nice to be able to copy this. Right-click, copy the version number, or something else for support, that sort of thing. Okay, cool. Let me go close up that issue, that feature request there. Copy from about box is what I want. Boom. Didn't take too long. I did try pressing Control-C there. And then I came over and tried to press, and nothing did not work. Yeah. So devs, probably still watching, Control-C might be a way as well to solve that problem. Yeah, not very discoverable. You're right. But you know, sometimes it's like, well, do we want to do it for support? But no, I was here, I hit Control-C, and then I went over into a text box and print paste, and the only thing I got was content control status, the piece that was already on the clipboard. Okay, so if we're closed, then we're going to set visibility for the color controls as the hidden, and we are going to create a button instead, like that. And what's going on with the buttons? Button name, we're finding it as a resource. Okay. All right. Giving it a position, left, bottom, button size. Okay, cool. I think the position, I think my set left here, I think I want to change this for the color picker, and I want it the set left, I think I want it on the left side. That's what I want. We're going to pop that and align that left. All right, let's just run and just make sure everything's still working the way we're expecting. No. Sorry about that. Okay, wait, one other thing that caught my eye. If we're closed, we do this. Otherwise, we say visibility. Yeah, I feel like I didn't do this correctly right here. Like that. I wanted that to be like that. Okay. Next, let's go find this button. CodeRush find it? Well, it gets us here. And then we can get here. Interesting, CodeRush could not find it. Is that because it's a resource? It's bright, isn't it? I bet it totally is a resource. So I got a ton of Windows resources here. Yeah, should we be able to find it? I'm going to say yeah, we should. I'm going to do another feature request, kids. Give me a second here. Oh, I see I missed some messages in the chat. I will get to those in a second. All right, devs. So check this out. I am looking for a control with this name in it right here. So I select it. I hit the enter key on the numeric keypad to bring up jump to symbol, and it doesn't find it. It doesn't find it. It's a resource. It's not a control on the form. I contend we should be able to jump to, it should be considered a symbol, I think. we should be able to jump to it. And if not, we can call it a resource or whatever and give a filtering option, but we should be able to find it, is what my contention is. Right now, my workaround is I have to hit enter to get to it. Well, here I am. I'm right up here in the method. Then I have to hit tab, next reference, to get here. Then I come over here, and now I'm finally at that point. But there you can see it's got a key property right there, and it's inside of my resources. If I do selection increase here, there's my view box. One more time, I'm up to the top, all my siblings, routed commands. One more time, there you can see I'm in the Windows resources section right there. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a way to get here fast. Okay? All right, feature request, pop that in, and we're going to call that the find Windows resources. Maybe nav to Windows resources. Like that. Okay, sweet. Cool. Rory, by the way, works with us, is probably getting emails now for every single one of these that I file, sends an email out to the dev team, sends an email out to Rory. All right. Let me catch up with some of the chat messages here. Does SSMS have a copy info button on the help about... Oh, devs, sorry. SSMS has a copy info button on the help about dialog. Could be self says copy info feature could enable you to create a file of features and stuff that you've set up so that you can send that into DevExpress and bug reports, submit tickets. Yeah, I think I kind of feel that, right? I feel that there's a bigger, better way to submit bugs. We've spec'd this out. It's kind of been bubbling up and down in priority over the last year or two. But yeah, I agree. There could be a better way to do this. One of the other things that we're doing, and you're replying to some with additional context. Thanks, Roy, because Roy is the best. One of the things we're working on for the upcoming releases that I think is actually going to be really good, and I think we talked about this a little bit with Rory last week. We are working on internally monitoring performance of CodeRush while it's running and saving out diagnostic data because there are some elusive edge case performance problems that customers are informing us about, and we aren't having difficulty reproducing those. So we want to find those, right? You're watching me write code in CodeRush I wouldn't say every single day, but 3 days a week, a couple hours every day, and we are almost never experiencing any performance issues. And if we are, it's generally for like a moment. So we're not experiencing these on any kind of regular basis at all. So, but we're excited about this because we're putting a lot of effort into it, and I actually told the devs, your next 3 sprints are going to be focused on solving performance issues. So, and they're, devs are always react like I'm punching them when I talk to them. There's kind of good and bad on both of this. And when I say performance, I'm talking about if we're working on a feature, it's a feature to make developers faster, or really more likely, it's a feature to make a CodeRush feature faster, right? So one of the controversial ideas I proposed, which we're probably not going to do, but it is, I designed a way to solve a lot of UI-related problems with asynchronous menu loading. So in other words, the menu elements arrive at different times, and not just within like maybe 600 milliseconds, but maybe over 1200 milliseconds or 1400 milliseconds or 1600 milliseconds. In other words, close to maybe over a second and maybe under 2 seconds, right? As that's enough time for you to grab the mouse and start reaching and and clicking on something. There's all kinds of loading a menu asynchronously is fraught with problems, and so as a result, large menus like a refactoring menu that requires a lot of different checks to be done to see is this refactoring available in the code at this moment in time. You might have to wait a second or more for the menu to appear, and I don't want that. I want the menu to appear immediately, or I want some equivalent to be able to come up instantly, right? I want to be able to. I want thought and then slam on the keyboard, and then execution. That's what I want, right? So I went through and I figured out, oh wait, every single problem, there are ways to solve it. From a user perspective, we can actually do this, but there are other technical reasons why we're not going to attempt this, I think, at this point. But it totally solves the problem of and allows you to actually have refactorings that might take longer to figure out if they're available or not. Speaking of which, when Rory gets here, I think we'll demonstrate a new refactoring in the latest release, a really cool one called Promote to Generic Parameter. Very cool new refactoring. It may not be something you use all the time, but when you want to create a generic method out of a non-generic one, this will likely save you a lot of keystrokes. Okay, so button color controls is out here. This is what this thing looks like. This one's a little more complex because it's got all these polygons of different colors in it, showing them out there. It's not a simple button. Our property editor button is going to be a lot nicer than this, a lot simpler than this. Yeah, it is. We actually spec'd it out, Codebase Alpha, on this show, right? We were creating generic methods. You know, we had something working, you know, on an instance, and then we realized, oh, you know, we've got some classes. We got several classes we really want this to work with, and we want it to work with the class. And I was, you know, every once in a while, instead of, you know, most of the time I'm just like barreling through, but every once in a while I have the forethought or just a tiny extra little bit of awareness where I'm like, wait a minute, I'm taking the slow path. The faster path is to spec this out as a feature request and get our devs to write it so that the next time we need it, it's going to be instant. And that's a lot about what CodeRush is about, right? I used to, by the way, a long time ago before CodeRush existed, I used to struggle getting my ideas out in time. And so my ideas would be awesome in my mind and fleeting as well. And I would be racing to try to get the code out. And I realized this was happening so many times. And I was writing another feature for Delphi at the time, which is called the CDK. And I was then starting another product, which was going to help you implement design patterns quickly. So you were going to be able to come in and say, I want to implement the composite design pattern. You were going to be able to pick the behaviors, the classes, and it was going to intelligently integrate it. But it kind of puts you in the code, and the problem is it's with all that code. I was thinking, well, I can't really, get people, create a product that creates so much code, puts so much code there for devs without first fixing the development problems with regards to editing the code. And so, I started writing CodeRush for Delphi at the time, and I needed it because I needed to be able to write code quickly. And it was, I think I should clarify that when I say put people in the code, I was using another third-party editor that I built a whole bunch of templates for because it was extensible, and then I realized this was gonna have to put you inside of Delphi, the actual product, which was not as fast, not as productive. So I realized I was going to have to change Delphi. So I started creating CodeRush, and it's been years since I've had that anxiety while writing code, right? And so the whole point behind CodeRush is, we work for like weeks getting a feature done, right? Finishing a feature. We have lots of devs we throw at it so that you can execute that feature in an instant, right? And the value there is that you don't lose the creative flow, you don't lose the creative idea. That's what our goal is, right? Our goal is to create a product that allows you to seamlessly, quickly get the code you want out. Like, I still feel it's clunky a bit, like between thought and code. Like, I still feel like I'm like, oh, what is this? What's the thing I have to do? I still feel it's not like just flowing as fast as I'm thinking, but it's not bad. It's a not bad compromise. Cryptodor says, I hear you completely. Feature request good CodeRush, adapt to programming patterns. Let's see what we're talking about with this. I need to refresh myself on these. I dipped into these once and I was like, oh, that's this. That's this. Let's go take a look at this. What do we got? Domain-driven design. I'm not sure about domain-driven design. What else do we got here? What is... Command query responsibility segregation. I'm not familiar with this at all. Yeah, so this is going to, in order to get to a space where CodeRush is going to be able to help you in this space, I'm either going to need some training. You might need to create your own custom templates. The problem is I don't live in this space, so I don't know what pieces are needed. And the best way to do it, here's the one way to solve this problem, is if you can come up with a before and after code samples for us. Say, here's my feature request. Here's my before code. Here's my after code, and here's the kind of questions I would expect to want to be asked along that path, right? Or here's the places where I'd want to be able to make changes, either before or after. By the way, after is way better than before. In other words, if I put up a refactoring and I ask you a bunch of questions before, ugh, right? There's a user interface, something blocking the code, all of that. But if I can do it first with some good guesses and then let you change the code immediately, very quickly and efficiently afterwards, right? We can put any UI in the code right afterwards. So we can do some cool things there. Making decisions afterwards just makes more sense. So if you give us that, clean architecture, onion architecture. Yeah. So fortunately, Cryptador, I've had zero training in this. I'm essentially self-trained for 40 years, and all this stuff came up like, and some of it has to do like CQRS, which looks like it's very centric to database programming, stuff that I've never really spent time in. Similarly, domain-driven design as well. I think the closest I get to DDD is kind of the way I just do every architecture, and to some degree is that I create my client API in a way that I think is very usable and very easy to exploit, and that kind of gets close to what you'd see in like a domain-driven like language or something like that, which I think might be it. Let me actually, and I feel like I should shut up quickly because that's about as much as I know about it. Yeah. So this kind of falls outside of CodeRush, what CodeRush gives you. CodeRush gives you things for building the component pieces, very specific domain-centric needs. CodeRush may not be able to help out so much there. It's a place we could go, but I need, like I say, before and after example code, that sort of thing for us to put developers on to get you something. Okay? Yeah, I think this is a great point. If coders knew more about how we were writing via patterns, then it would provide greater efficiency. I think that's a possibility. Okay. Let's see, where was I? I was just looking over here at the button show color controls right here, and I wanted to see. That's where I wanted to be. I wanted to be in its on click. So here's where we check to see if that thing is not null, and if it's not null, we set its visibility to visible. What I also want to do is I want to say content control status. No, I want to say show content control this, and I want to pass in CC color controls. We'll change this in a second too, and we want to say excuse me, and this is not going to be open like that. Let's put this here. like that, and then we're going to say, what do we want to say? If not this dot contains key, whoa, sorry, that's not the right one I wanted. Content control, what was it? I thought that was it. That was not it. Here's my dictionary. What I called it. What's going on? Why am I not seeing that? I feel like that's what I said. Oh, you know what? Oh, I see what's going on. It's a scoping collision. There it is right there. Hey, you're welcome, Cryptodor. You're totally welcome. And yeah, we can entertain anything at any time. If you actually want to show me stuff during the show, live, if you've got like a clip bin or paste bin out there that you have some code in, you want to have before and after, you want me to take a look at that, I can definitely do that during the show. We can talk about that, explore those kinds of ideas. Because, kids, I'm here for you. I'm dog fooding Code Rush Live, but, you know, we can talk about Code Rush, all kinds of things. So now, let's see. Now it's content control status is what the name of the reference is. Just like I had, it's just that it was getting the local. Let me try something here, though. I just, for the first time, realized that there may be content control status. So that icon to the left, is that different from the one for status? It is. So that means, I guess, local parameter. I've never really studied these icons right over here before. Whoops. That means local parameter right there. Interesting. And then if it was blue, uh-oh. Look out, folks.
Michael Jolly.
My shirt's too loud? I'll get you, Michael Jolly. Teach you a lesson, Michael Jolly, for commenting about my shirt. Oh, that makes me mad. That makes me so mad, Michael. I'm going to get you, buddy. Try that again. All right. All right, so let's see here. I was just looking at the icons right there. So what? Content control. Content control status. Now, am I going to do this now? I think I'm going to do this now. I'm going to put a perf issue here. For the slightest second, I noticed there was a delay just before, like about 15 seconds, 10 seconds back before I marked this point, where I typed in elements and I looked up and then they filled themselves out. I typed in some keys. So I want you kids to look at, devs, I want you to look at the perf logs and see if you are seeing anything in there. And I will, performance issue typing. I'm just going to call it typing like this. Take a look at that. And they're going to get those logs and take a look at that. So yeah, we are documenting and logging perf issues now in this build. So cool. So let's see, contains key. So if it does not contain the key, let's add it. And then we're going to say this dot add. And I don't know, I'm just going to say closed, I guess. This should never happen, but okay. And then I'm going to come in here and I'm going to say, let's do this. I actually would like this to do more than just do these things. I think I want to set visibility as well. So let's do this. Let's create a switch statement on status, and so I should also show that, right? Status is on the clipboard. This is code right. So if I've got status on the clipboard like that, I just type in SW for switch statement, and then it gives me this, right? It sees that it's an enum, it iterates through all the elements on the enum, It gives me those pieces right there. So if we are open, we're going to set maybe we'll do this. This dot visibility is equal to true. And then I'm going to come down here and I'm going to say, nope, sorry, not true. Visibility dot visible. And if it's closed, we're going to say visibility dot hidden. Okay. Then we don't actually need that there. This can come down here. So that's going to be equal to status, which I'm going to rename to new status. Like that. Here comes Rory. Coming in to save the day.
Hello.
Rory Becker here to save the day. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, my friend. How are you?
Pretty good.
You're deep in the code, getting all the things fixed.
I am.
Everything working perfectly, yeah?
Yeah, it's not raining over there, I can tell.
For a change, yeah.
That is so cool. All right.
I thought you were the one who's supposed to get the tropical weather.
It was really windy, but no rain here. But it was windy enough that it was dropping trees like crazy.
Okay. That could be quite dangerous.
Yeah.
See, I have this image. If I couldn't see you here on the stream, I would be assuming, but being based in Costa Rica, that you'd be coding from a laptop in a hammock with like palm trees on the beach.
No way.
No?
No way. I got monitors. Look, dude, I got monitors all over the place. I'm like, I got 1, 2 right there, 2 under the camera, 3 above the camera, and 4 over to the right. I've lighting conditions controlled. I've got the windows blocked out. I've got sound curtains hung up over here, green screen behind me. This studio is not portable. Studio.
So you're on a black side of sorts, right? You could be anywhere in the world. It really wouldn't matter at this point, as long as you've got your internet connection and obviously, reliable power.
That is,
you'd be good.
Those are my 2 concerns wherever I go: reliable power and high-speed internet upload speed. Right, Fred?
Cool.
It's like those are the 2 things. He knows.
Those are the 2 most vital things, and apparently the 2 hardest things to come by.
Yeah.
Under certain circumstances, anyway.
What do you like? What do you like best, Fred? Power or internet? If you had to choose, number 1, power. Number 2, internet. Yeah, Fred says number 1. He doesn't have a number 2 signal, so he can only choose number 1. Oh, that's so funny. Hold on a second. I got a picture in my head of Code Rush as a one-man band, but swapping out the instruments for monitors and keyboards.
Nice. So suspended monitor in front of you from behind, keyboard held out in front of you, and then you sort of kick to the right to refactor.
It's on my walking desk, and I've got 3 Stream Decks down here in front of me as well. Right? Here, I think I can bring this one up right here. Think I can get it into camera view? Yeah, right here. So this one controls Fred, for example. So if I want to get a thumbs up, I just hit that button right there. Fred says thumbs up. If I want him to do his hands clasp, I hit this button right there. So I've got 1 for Fred, but Fred also has got, this also controls the other elements on screen too. So for example, let's see, bring up Fred here.
Fred!
And say Fred wants to take an action, like he wants to use his javelin, like that. Where's your javelin, Fred?
Mark claims to be sitting here advertising Code Rush, obviously dog fooding it, building a game, but actually what he's doing is he's slowly but steadily creating his Dr. Evil lair with all the buttons for automating all the things in the whole world. He will be in charge of our robot overlord within a year or 2.
Yeah, and speaking of which, but Roy, there's a button here that opens the trap door.
Hang on, what? Help!
Just a peek. It's just cracks it open a bit, just to let you know that I can hit that button at any time. Right, buddy. So, yeah, what you just saw, Stream Deck. So our Dungeon Master has a Stream Deck like that as well. We're actually looking for a new Dungeon Master. I put an ad out on backstage.com and got some new responses. So we'll find a new Dungeon Master in there. And again, it seems like it's all for a game, but it's actually for my super secret lair with an actual dungeon. So we'll be hitting those buttons right there. But yeah, this cool thing is, like, if the Dungeon Master can say, okay, we're entering combat. He hits 1 button, and is it working? There we go. We enter for clock stops. Everybody rolls for initiative. Oh, wow, look at that. Double 20s for Willie. He's got advantage on that, so it doesn't matter, but that was amazing. That rarely
Don't
happens.
see that very often.
Yeah, isn't that funny how we take noise and we turn it into signal like I just did? Isn't that awesome? So anyway, everything here we've written on the show. Just an opportunity for us to show off Code Rush and dog food it. And that sort of thing. All right, so the mouse goes down. We check to see if we can get color controls. I like to also do this a lot. I like to do a flatten conditional here instead. Let's stop for a second, actually. Oh no, Pudding! Pudding, no.
Surely, Pudding, there was an easy option of distract Dragon by hurling large quantity of pudding to the left.
Yeah, didn't you try that to the left?
I mean-
If you did it to the right again, Pudding, you should learn your lesson.
Yeah.
Your DM killed all of you. Let me tell you something, Pudding. Your DM has the discretion to be able to bring a hero out of nowhere and to help you guys out and to save you guys weary and beaten, but bring you out and save you, right? You can, like, your dungeon master can have you all knocked out, unconscious, and then come back in. You know, you wake up and you're in a tent, you know, and the hero looks down on you and he says, "Oh, bad moves, mateys, bad moves." That's my accent from some location. I don't know. He asked for a human sacrifice. I tried to stay clerk, didn't let me. I attacked the clerk to try to knock him out, and I missed 3 times. Uh-oh. Oh, boy. Okay, I want to do... I just noticed something, Rory. Here's what I noticed. I went in here and I said, hey, flatten conditional, and it gave me these braces. I don't like that on my if statements. I like my if statements flatter. So
Okay.
I don't know how to solve this, but
I was wondering if there's a style kind of setting for that somewhere.
I think there is. Let's go find it.
We have many options for customization of that type.
Yeah. So I'm going to come in here and I'm going to type in braces because I'm going to hope that that's going to get me close. This looks good.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's not what I want. Programming style, maybe? Use braces statements. Always use braces for single statements. No. Never use braces for single statements. That's what I want. Right there. Okay, so that wasn't too painful. Right?
Okay.
Typed in braces. We found 1, but we also found 2. In other words, it filters out what's available. So in our second hit, so I'm going to say that's not too bad. All right, so let's click that and see if it works.
Accept that, undo, or we've already undone.
Yeah.
Now we can do the same thing
Flatten
again,
conditional.
And hopefully get a different result.
There we go.
There we go.
That's what I want. Okay, cool. All right.
Flexibility of Code Rush, ladies and gentlemen, demonstrated before your very eyes.
Now, what is this? Button show color. Oh, this is the button for it. Okay. We're going to get a little more complex here, I think. I'm going to let's go look at this. All right. Let's go back up to here. I don't want this to be a dictionary of content control status anymore. I need more data in here. Is what I want. I'm going to say, I'm going to create a new class for it. And I'm going to call it, this is the slowest part of the show, is me figuring out the name of something.
It is one of the hardest problems. They say there are the three hardest problems in computer science are naming things and off by 1 problems.
Yeah, naming things is hard for me. Off by 1 is not hard because generally I can nail that in 2 tries. Right? Just 1 up? Nope. Okay, 1 down. Okay, there you go. Let's see.
Very useful to do unit tests around that kind of stuff. You just hurl a guess at the unit test.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work, then it's the other way.
Oh yeah. Quickly rename. Let me give you a tip on the rename here. So editable props. Let's say I wanted to just change props like that. I just hit. I just selected first with if the caret is, like, say here, I hit Alt right arrow, gets me to the camel case transition. And then hold down the Shift key, just add the Shift key to it, and then right arrow again gets me. So now we hit Alt Shift right home. This is camel case nav. Rory, can you get a link to our?
I can indeed.
Thank you. Roy and I recorded a video showing Camel Case Nav a while back. Partial renaming. Yeah. So what happens? Oh, I'm sorry. So you're here, and then you hit F2. Boom. To rename. Now I've got a binding to F2. I think it's not built in. This is my own special set of things, but it's not hard to do this. So Mark's Custom F2 is rename right there. Like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is new, by the way. Repeat Last Refactoring is a new one in the latest release. Really trying to get... One of the features we're going to add is the ability to bind a particular refactoring to a shortcut key. Because I want declare local instantly. I'm waiting too long for the menu to pop up. And I'm waiting like 600 milliseconds or something like that, but I want to hit the key and execute it.
Didn't we used to have a mechanic where
Yes.
you could bind a keystroke to effectively refactor, but pass a parameter of the refactoring you wish to do?
We did. That's on the list and it's coming. So that is coming. That's going to happen.
So that's a dedicated, any refactoring we have, you can set up a key for without going through the menu that lists all the other alternatives.
Yeah, and I've already got Control-Shift-L. That's going to be my declare local key. So that's going to happen. All right, so I want to do this. I think I'm calling this editable props. Almost like edible. So we're going to call this editable prop status. No. I'm not quite figured out how I'm going to do this yet. Oh, I think I'm going to call it open closed status, actually. Oh, perf issue right there. All right, I'm going to start recording these perf issues, Rory.
Okay.
I think I got to get the keyboard camera back in though. I don't have it in today, but I could bring it in tomorrow, so you can see that. So devs can see the delay to when I hit the key and when it comes out here. But I think I did a paste and I was waiting. So I think there's another perf issue right there. Paste and wait. That's what I'll call this. So hopefully we'll get some of that new perf log data out there. Okay. The cool thing about that too is it's going to help us differentiate between whether the problem is us or whether the problem is Visual Studio. Because if it's us, we can fix it. If it's Visual Studio, it's much harder. But this is actually, so this is, like, here's another kind of crazy thing. This is another reason, this is why the devs look pummeled after I talk to them. Because, well, I didn't actually, to be fair, I didn't say this because they kind of blocked me for other technical reasons from getting to the second thing I was going to say. But it is actually possible to make Visual Studio, elements of Visual Studio faster with CodeRush in them, like IntelliSense, faster when CodeRush is in it than with it out.
Nice.
Yes, I know. And I'm like,
CodeRush improves things simply by being there.
Yes, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, no, it's one of the best. It's a great sales technique, right? Oh, do you like Visual Studio? Well, you like it even better because it will be even faster, right?
Don't use any features.
Right.
Just have it installed.
And it's crazy controversial. I'm sorry. What did you? Yeah, no, that's what I'm talking about. It's crazy controversial. It gets the attention of the dev team, the Microsoft dev team. They're like, what? That's not possible, right? How is it possible that you're making it go faster? Our existing feature, right? But we were blocked for other technical reasons, and we're probably not going to go do it. But I was like, I was getting to that point, and devs are just like, Mark, can you just give us a feature that's like, you know, a simple rename or something like that, and not something that's going to take the entire team a month to work on. So, okay, so open close status, editable props. I'm not exactly, editable prop, property editor. I'm going to call these property editor status. Property editor status. Yeah, and so in here we're going to have a property called open closed. we need a string property in here that's going to be our standalone button. A closed button? No. Is it? It's the maybe called the open button. Launch button. That feels better. Launch button. Yeah, naming is the slowest thing for me. The other 1% of the overall technical debt. Wait, laughing out loud. The idea is 1% of the overall technical debt that can be applied to implement it. Wait.
What he's saying is coming up with the idea is easy. 99% of the rest of it is doing something.
Yeah, no, I know
Maybe.
that. I know that. That's why they're like, what? But I often come up with these super creative ideas. Okay, fix this. All right, let's start moving things to their own files. Taking too long. Okay, I think I'm going to call that a perf issue. I want to find that out. That's move type to file. Let's find out what's taking so long there. All right, kids, I just did a move type to file, and it took too long to get there. Take a look at that. Tell me what you're seeing. Move type to file. Boom. Yeah, the devs are going to be like, Mark, why are you sending so? We just got the feature out. Look at who's here!
He's in the house.
Boom!
Hey Hugo, how's it going?
Hugo. How you doing, buddy? That's why we do this show, by the way. It's only for Hugo. We were all sitting around looking at each other. We're like, do you think he's coming in today?
Could be.
All right, well, get ready, everybody. I think it could be any second. Boom. All right.
Waiting in the wings just for your presence.
All right. How you doing, Hugo? We're creating a property editor. We're documenting any kind of the smallest little perf issues at all. We want to get those things nailed. All right, so now let's go look at my open close status. Tab to next reference there. That should take us here. I'm going to change this to this and this to this. And then we're going to get some bugs or some code that doesn't compile. So we want to pass in this. And that's going to be the launch button name, I guess. Launch button name. That's what I want this to be. And I'll use CodeRush, even though I've got the other one up there. That instead of renaming it, I'm going to just use declare property with initializer like that, and then we'll delete the other one. Okay, let's set open closed equal to close. Come on. All right, there we go. Oh, new feature in this release, Rory.
Yeah?
Yeah. Wait, hold on. I'll create a sample method to show it to you. It's going to take a string, stir, like that, copy it to the clipboard, and now down here inside the method body, we're going to say stir dot tu for to upper, like this. Hit enter, and now I'm going to hit a dot right here. Moves it out, brings up IntelliSense.
Nice, smart dot.
We spec
Like
that
smart
on the show. Like trim.
Yeah.
What's interesting though is there I didn't get. Why didn't I get parens there? IntelliRush is on. Let me try it again. Let me mark an issue here. I want to call this an issue and have the devs on this. So I go down to trim and I hit enter. All right, let's turn off IntelliRush. And I go down to trim. Visual Studio doesn't do it. Why is it I got it for 2 upper? I typed in TU, 2 upper, hit enter. I didn't get it that time. What? Tab key? No. What's going on? Is this Visual Studio? I would like ours to work better than this. I think there's an option in here with IntelliSense. I thought there was an option to add parens. This is a CodeRush feature and not a Visual Studio feature?
I'm not sure what I expect to happen there normally.
Auto completion. Enable IntelliRush. It's us. It's not Visual Studio. This one. Argument listen methods without overloads. Wait. Where's the option to add parens or not? I don't get it. All right. Okay, so devs, I'm looking for why am I not seeing parens here? I think I've seen it sometimes, and I've seen it other times. At the very beginning, whoa, parens all of a sudden. Well, that was after just enabling IntelliRush, so I did it from the options page. So I think here's the problem. 2 upper, that works. Hit a dot, come in, grab substring, hit enter. No parens here. I think this is us, and this is our problem. We need to fix it. Why don't we have parens here? I want my parens. I need my parens.
I'm also not getting it on my copy. So I don't think it's broken, should we say, in yours. It may have been a step earlier. I think I've got 1927. Is that right?
Okay.
Sorry, 28. Has that literally just upgraded whilst I've been looking?
Sucker! That's what CodeRush is saying to you.
I swear I checked one other copy of Studio I had. It's 1927, and then I launched one for this. It's got a newer version. So actually, this is the same version I think that you've got, if I'm counting that correctly. Yeah, I'm not getting parens.
All right. So anyway, we should be getting parens there. But then now once you're here, you can do that dot. Oh, come on. Why isn't the dot working? Why no dot here?
I'm going to try the dot.
All right.
My dot not working. Do I have to turn
Is
that
it
on?
because I need, maybe it's because I need parameters here and I haven't added those yet? So what if I said 0, comma 1, 4? Yeah, that's not going to work there. So, yeah, it's only in parameter. I think it may only be in parameterless pieces. Does that mean it won't be get it in trim either? No, trim did work. It worked in trim. But this won't work. Yeah. So yeah, it's kind of just a small feature right there with regards to the dots and getting yourself out there. But it's nice. It saves you a little bit of time to get out. It saves you a couple of keystrokes. Maybe saves you one. All right. All right, let's get those parens working. Okay, so here's my new property editor status. I kind of want to write some code fast now because I've been like, you know, documenting and talking all kinds of things. Oh wait, missed an idea from Cryptodor.
So your idea, Cryptodor, exists already. I believe it's the /.
Kind of, yeah. If I copy it to the clipboard, I can do that. But more importantly, property editor status, I can come in here, say use type in templates. So I'm right-clicking my type reference, say use type in templates, and then give it a mnemonic like PES, property editor status.
Yep.
See, add that like that. Now
that's good if you want to reference that from any other class.
Yeah.
That sort of saves it with the session almost.
Now what I can do is I can come in here and I can say, all right, so let me just comment this out. And I want to create, I'll copy this to the clipboard, content control. Or fair enough, actually, let's do this. I'm pretty sure I don't have a CC. So let's use that type in template as well. Type in CC, add. And then now we want a new dictionary. We can say new dictionary, of, so new dictionary of right there. The, there it is right there. So N for new, dictionary, D for dictionary, and then of is the dot. Okay, new dictionary of. And then we're going to say content control, comma, PES, and then space bar, and boom.
Nice.
That's your feature. I don't know if you noticed it or not, Cryptodor, but you posted it here. My devs went crazy, implemented it, gave me an update. Visual Studio says, I'm sorry, not Visual Studio, but CodeRush after updating says, Saka. I just got it, right? It's a little, barely audible, Saka. And I updated it, and there the features in. See, so very cool. That means I can, if I want a new list of content controls, I can say new list of CC like that, right? If I want a new stack of content controls, new stack of content controls like that. If I want a variable just to type it, I just type in VCC like this, right? All of that. Same thing, VPS.
All the existing templates that work
Everything
with this
works.
kind of structure work with the new, the new items that you add to templates.
Yeah.
But we also do have backslash, which is whatever's on your clipboard at the moment.
Right.
And forward slash, which is the current class you are in.
Yes. So both of those work as well.
You don't necessarily have to define it if you're going to use it from within itself.
Roy, can you find a relevant feature of the week video that we recorded on that?
I can indeed, yes.
Yeah. So super useful. So now if I want a property of that type, I just type in APES like that, apes. And there it is. Like that. Yeah, it's very cool. Every once in a while we'll do something pretty amazing on this team. Every once in a while. What do we got? Apologies if it existed. No worries, buddy. I'm still looking off the type shortcuts document was provided from the Dev Express site. Yeah, no worries. I think in that document, it may not say use type in templates. If it doesn't, we should add that.
We're just happy if we help you to discover something that makes you more productive.
Yeah,
whether we have to make it or not, whether it exists or not already, we're happy to help.
Okay, I want to call this prop ed status. Look at that, Rory. Look at you go. So awesome. The show is so awesome when you're here, buddy.
What I'm going to do, I'm going to find the whole playlist because there is a lot of these videos.
Yeah.
I'm just going to get that in there as well.
That's a great idea. Okay. So now we want to say this dot open closed is equal to that. So we fix that bug, I think, right there. Prop ed status. Show content control.
There we go. Feature of the week playlist, 55 videos, all sort of 5 minutes or thereabouts, designed to help you learn more stuff about CodeRush.
So if I'm hitting the button show color controls mouse down button, I think this is not needed. This code right here, which was check to see if it's in there. I don't want to do anything along those lines right there. I want to be in this world instead. I think. And here I want to say open closed is equal to the new status. And then what I want to do is this bit of code right here. I want to move inside show content control as well. So there's show content control there. And now I want this, but the resource I want to find is the one that we already assigned to it. So I should be able to safely delete that and give it the launch button name instead as a view box. By the way, Cryptodor, oh yeah, upgrade to get on the same page. By the way, Cryptodor, you're about to see a killer feature in CodeRush. I'm going to show it in a second. Stick around for it. It's not new, but it's maybe new to you. Maybe new feature you haven't seen yet, and it's killer. We're going to create a new button for the property editor and pop it in and make all of this work quickly, I think. All right, so now I need to do this. I need to say here, here. And we need to do something with this as well. And so if we're closed, then, or sorry, if we're open, we want to make our launch button. Let's rename this the launch button. Like that. We want to make our launch button hidden, but if we're closed, we want to make it visible. Like that. And I really want these to work like radio buttons, to be honest. So we can only show one content control at a time. Show property editor. Let's change this to show property editor. Okay. So now what that means, how will I work that through? Just kind of cleaning up the code here. Oh, it's taking too long. Taking too long. Perf issue. Perf issue. Boom. Took too long to come up. All right. That's how I hope the perf that the perf documentations will go. By the way, the thing that I love that's happening right now, CodeRush is, or not CodeRush, the tool we use for documenting bugs live during the show is taking all our log files, zipping them up, sending an email out.
Oh, yeah.
Rory, you got that email yet? Has it come in?
I have had several.
So, inline temp.
I've even replied to a couple.
All right. Yeah, you're so good. I just want to say I'm not worthy of anybody who's in the audience or on the show, or who's on the show, Rory, or on the team. I am, merely just here for the ride.
That's mainly about how awesome the team are as well, though.
It is. They're really good. They're good.
There's nothing
really
lacking in yourself. It's just they are that good.
These devs are disciplined. They've been, we have pretty high retention on the team. Most of them have been on the team for about 10 years. And they know their stuff. And they know how to work with me, crazy me guy over here. So, yeah, they're really good. Devs are great. Okay, let's see here. Show property editor. Get color controls. And then there's what we want to do on it. And I think, so if we're opening, we need to kind of hide the rest. And I think I almost want to do this, like hide the rest. And I want to pass in this content control to hide the rest. And I think we can do this. I get a little nervous when I have code that's kind of not really recursive, but it's going to dangerously maybe come back and call this a bunch of times. So we have to just make sure we don't. We send close to everything else. Is what we want to do. And so it looks like that code's going to look like something like this. I paste this in. I hit the dot to get up IntelliSense. I check our keys. And then I select the whole thing, cut it to the clipboard, because CodeRush has templates that can use what's on the clipboard and figure out what to do. So now I'm going to type in FE, a CodeRush template for 4 each, and then it gives me here. That's what I'm looking for. Right?
Look at that. So CodeRush reaches into the clipboard, discovers propedstatus.keys, determines from your code that this is a collection of things that can be iterated through, and derives the collective type of that, declares you a for each statement and variable, and positions you inside of it, ready to just start using it. So all that's that sort of ceremony around the outside, you didn't have to think of any of that. You just can get on with the code.
Yeah, exactly. So we're going to say show property editor on that. We're going to pass in its content control, and we're going to pass in open close status dot close. So we're going to close everything else. So everything will be closed. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So because we're sending in closed, just clear in case you're nervous, we'll never come back in here and close the rest in some kind of brutal, out of control, wild rage, infinite loop. Does that make sense? We're not going to.
Yep.
Now we put this here, then we're in trouble. cheat sheet.
Yep, just thought I'd throw another resource out there. This is I think it's the most recent cheat sheet we have. All kinds of keys, combinations, help with templates, all sorts of stuff in there. Little tips and tricks that'll help you get a little bit more out of Code Rush.
Okay, so property editor here. At this point, there's my mouse down. It shows and opens it. I think we've just refactored, created like a new mini architecture, and I think everything's still going to run. And it should just work the same.
That'd be cool.
Wait, is it going to work the same? I think it is. We need to get it to close, and we'll get it to close in a second. When we hit that X button. Custom templates are my favorite feature. Well, thanks, Codebase Alpha. I remember where I was when I figured out how we could make these really short. I was in a bathroom, and I remember I was like walking past I was moving past the shower curtain, and it just hit me, and I was like, oh my God, we could have templates that consist of like M for method, and A for property, and for auto implemented property, and P for property, and all of this, and then we could follow it with the type. And I remember that moment, and yeah, we worked pretty hard to make sure that the engine can help you write code quickly. So, all right, let's pop this in. Let's make this do its thing, and let's drop something down, and let's try to click it, and it pops up nice, and it's now left aligned, which is where I want it to be. Now we just need to get it closed, and it's remembering whether it's up or down. Sweet. So now we got to get that close button to work. Where is that close button? Can I search for just an X? No. It's because I'm adding it here? Am I adding it in here? No. I'm adding it here, I think, but it is, let's search for whole word, case sensitive whole word. Oh shoot, it's still going to find these here. All right. Is the button called close? Button close, there it is. Yeah, I was searching for this X right here. No way I was going to find that quickly. All right, so button close. Do we have, oh, no event handler on it. All right, no worries. All right, let's drop a marker out here so we can come out here in a second quickly. And let's set a breakpoint here. Let's go back to where we were. Let's, I can't do that. We're using prop it status. Here we go. Here's where I can set a breakpoint right here. Okay, if I zoom out, we'll get a call here. There it is right there to update the UI. Now I want to hit escape to get back to here. And now I want to come in, now that we're in a breakpoint, edit continue and hot XAML reload. There's my click right there. And we want to say click new event handler. Button close. Oh yeah, I can't rename from here. Tab to next reference. That's okay, I can rename from here. Button close. Color. Props. Click. And now here we'll set a breakpoint and let's just run. And now I'm going to click it. And now totally forget the name of the thing we were just working on. That's where Code Places can help out. If I go up here in, I can see my history, my recent history of pieces that I have here. That's kind of where I think I was. Yeah, show property editor right up in there. Let's make sure. I want to make sure. Yeah, show property editors right there. All right, cool. And now I want to call show property editor. get color controls, but I want to close it. I want to kind of the opposite of this piece right here. And call closed on it. Let's see if this works. If this works, no, why not? Boom, closed. The launch button, it should totally be made visible. Oh, I know why. I know why. The launch button. Hold on. The launch button, I think, is conditionally created.
Ah.
Hold on now. So this is where we added. This is where we conditionally create it. This is where we, okay, so here's what I think we need to do. All right, let's come in, and I think so. I think we are going to. I think no matter what, I want to create this button right here. Well, basically, look, if we're going to create the other, if there's enough space to put the editor up, we're going to create the button. Okay.
Create the button regardless, and then control its visibility.
Yeah, and then now all we need to do is figure out which one of these we're going to do, though.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what I want to do, we've already got it. We don't need to call get color controls again. I think I want an overload of this. Oh, can I do overloads? Can I do overloads? I think I can.
During edit and continue?
Yeah, that's my question.
That's the theory, isn't it?
I think I can. Let's find out if we can or not. So
we can make new methods, and it is just a new method with, the same name as another one and different parameters.
I know, but I want to give it the same name. I basically show property editor. I want this to come in, get this. Here's where I want, by the way, I want my shortcut for declare local right here. Because otherwise I'm like, 1, 2, 3. I want it boom, like that quickly. And then we're going to, so we get the status right there. And, oh, cool. Oh, yeah, look into smart duplicate line. Right. Yeah, that's good. Also smart duplicate selection, not just line, but selection. Works really well there. Like, I don't know, here, shift enter, allows me to come in here, maybe say content CC2 or whatever, shift enter again, we'll duplicate it. So if I want to create a couple of parameters real quickly, you can use it all kinds of places that are useful.
And there's multiple marking of selections within the thing you're duplicating to give it that extra bit of information as to what is being duplicated.
So now I want to content control. What's happening here? Why am I not getting no IntelliSense coming in at all? It's this. Do I report this as not a performance issue? It's because my code's not compiling. I can get rid of all of this. Is that going to make it happier? No.
Well, has it become confused because did you already overload? I'm not sure.
Yeah, no, they're both overloads on screen. What's interesting is I'm typing in content here, content control, control, and it's not suggesting anything. If I shift space, it does have it, but it's not while I'm typing. It was kind of weird. Let me try content. Now it's getting it. It wasn't before, though. That's why I was like a little bit flabbergasted. Okay. Dot. Open, close. So now all it's going to do is it's just going to go in and execute the code based on what its current status is. Does that make sense what I'm doing here?
I think so, yeah.
So this is just going to go in and decide which one of these to show, which one to hide based on the settings. Okay? All right. Let's try it. Let's run it. and zooming out, zooming in. Click to bring it up. Close it, and nice, it's there. Sweet.
Cool.
Okay. Getting ready now to put the property editor in. All of that architectural changes and UI changes, but it's exactly what I want. Right? Like that. Okay?
And we've broken nothing.
That's right. We've broken nothing. Now, what this also means then is if this is up and I drop something else down, it should also be up in the piece I dropped down. See, it's up right there. And I click on this one's up. If I close it, it's now down for both of them. Isn't that nice?
That's really nice if you want to establish a sort of working process of dropping something on, changing its hue, drop another thing on, change its hue. So if your process happens to be color-based, then it can be. That's just naturally the case. You don't have to click it for each and every individual thing.
Yeah. So that's looking good. I like it. I like it. I like it. I like it. I
think he's a fan, guys.
Yeah. I want a tooltip here, though. I want a tooltip on my X. And wait, what's going on here? Button close, click not found. That's not my fault. Don't look at me. I didn't do that. That's not my problem. All right, so I want to do this. Tooltip equals close the color prop editor, something like that. All right, let's see. Let's look at how awesome the XAML Hot Reload is. Look at that, kids. Right? I want to know who wrote that. Whoever wrote this deserves to be commended and promoted at Microsoft. Okay, so super cool. That's step one. Step two. Now here's the killer feature we're about to write. We're going to create a second button to bring up our property editor. And I think we might be able to. Can we do it all in Edit and Continue? We're still in the Windows resources. See that right there, kids? So I'm not sure. XAML Hot Reload's not so happy about doing this sometimes, it seems. So we'll see. I think we may have to restart. Let's do... Let's... What was it? Button... Color. Show color controls. This is the piece we've added right here. Yeah, so we're going to add another button. Let's go do it. So we want a button to open up our stamp property editor. And wait a second. I've got buttons somewhere. Do I design them here? These are not bad. We can use these as a
Once
model.
again into possibly the singular best symbolic design facility we know of.
Yeah, it's really awesome. Turn off my shape outline like this. So
You have to finish that by saying it's PowerPoint. It's still something of a joke in my head, but it really is good.
No, it's really
You've
awesome.
shown us time and again how well it works.
Yeah, I'm gonna make a hamburger menu right here, like this. So we kind of do this a little bit. I'm going to shift click all of these. We're going to center them. We're going to distribute vertically like that. We'll group those into a single object. We'll shift click here. We'll center. Now we're going to copy that to the clipboard. And now we're going to come over here and we're going to paste it in while we're running. We get at least get a breakpoint. I'm going to just go ahead and close it down because I'm pretty sure that we can't modify Windows resources while we're running. That XAML Hot Reload is like, no, I'm uncomfortable with that. All right, so paste, that's the feature right there. Got to give it a key. So type in XK here, that's a CodeRush template. And we're going to call this button show property editor, like that. And that's it. That's all we have to do.
Just to be clear what you've done there, Mark, you've gone into PowerPoint of all things. You've described a symbolic image using effectively vector graphics. Then you've copied that to the clipboard, switched back into Studio and pasted. And CodeRush has gone, aha, vector graphics, I know what you're talking about. And has inserted into WPF a canvas with a couple of paths in this case that will give you that exact graphical image. Just with no real effort on our part at all.
Yeah, I'm going to take off the stroke on the outside. I didn't realize I had a stroke on it, and I'll take that out. Because strokes do not scale well. You have to individually scale the thickness of the stroke. And if you want what looks like an outline in your design, like there is one around here like this, we don't want that. Let's turn that off, no outline. But say we wanted that, we could duplicate this, give it a fill that's a little darker. Excuse me, like that. Whatever that outline color is going to be, increase its size a little bit, send it to the back. By the way, already our UI that we've built is better than PowerPoint's for our dungeon editor because the buttons are right out there. We'll select all three of these. We'll center, 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 and then that's kind of how we can do it. Now, there's one thing you may notice is that the thickness gets thicker over here at the edges. That's because they're rounded rects. We just have to bring that down there so it's evened out, and that's how you get an outline that is totally scalable up and down. This outline will maintain its relative thickness compared to everything else as you scale it and down.
That is a very healthy point to point out there, is that not only have we got our graphics from PowerPoint into our application, but they are still vector graphics. They still scale.
Yeah. So let's take
this. This is not
this.
a copy of a bitmap or anything. This is really good.
Yeah, let's take this actually, and let's come in and paste this one instead. We'll use this instead. And we'll come back in. We're going to use the that, come down here, paste it in. And so now we have, there's our outline. You can see it right there. So there's the outline. These are the two rounded rects right there. And then this is the triple piece. The other thing that's cool about this is you can actually give these property names and change the colors dynamically or change them right here using Coder's color picker. So, really useful to create vector graphics and get them in quickly into the code without a whole lot of, stress. Okay. We should do a show, maybe just showing how to use all the cool different features of PowerPoint. By the way, I will say this. If we zoom in really closely here, you'll see that we've kind of got some roughness in here.
Yeah.
Okay. It's not perfect. That's not my fault. I just want to say this one looks perfect, but this one does not.
He says.
Right? And there is, and I've noticed that at, and I'm not sure if it's because of how big is this? That's pretty decent size. So yeah. While PowerPoint's got some of the fastest tools for setting up and creating vector graphics of any tool I've tested, it's not perfect. It does a little bit of corruption on the edit points, and I'd love for the PowerPoint team to solve that and fix that. So kids, if you got an in, somebody on the PowerPoint team, get them in touch with me. You can reach me at Mark M. I'll type it into the chat room right there at devexpress.com. And I'd love to sit down with you guys and show you what needs to be, just the small changes to take it to the next level.
A little bit of polish.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Show property editor. Let's get that thing built and created. So at least we got two buttons on screen. That's going to be kind of really close to here, I think. We need also some controls for it to edit it. And I want it to be, it's a content control. Hold on. Where's our other one? I think it was at the end of those resources. All right, let's do this. Selection increase so we get the end of the resources. There it is, right there. It's right down near here. This is it. This is our content control for our color controls. So I kind of want to do the same kind of thing here. That's going to be our property editor. We'll say, I'll call it property grid, like that. It's going to have a view box. Is it going to have a grid? Yeah, it's going to have a grid because I need to put that other button in the upper left. And then inside of that, it's going to have a stack panel that's going to be vertically oriented. And then I'm going to take all of these kids and delete those. So just got my stack panel there. There's my close, button, close, property grid. Goes the property grid. Like that. And let's create a new event handler for that. Okay, cool. I like the name of that. I'm happy with that. Let's set a breakpoint inside there. Or do we even need that? Let me just add this code here. Instead of get color controls, we need something that says get property editor. Like this. And get color controls. Let's go look at that. Select the whole thing. Here's my shift enter duplicate selection. Paste. And then inside here, I'm going to come in and change this CC property. I think it's property editor. No, property grid. All right. Okay, so we got our close button. We've got something that contains nothing in it. Let's put a checkbox in it. Okay, so CC property grid is there. That's going to... I'm going to change this to get property grid. Like that. Let's go look at get color controls, where we're dealing with that. We're going to deal with it there. Here, this is around here's where we need to do this. Is there any other place? Get active slider. Why are we using that? Oh, get active hue slider. Oh, that's just to reset it. Those are for menu items. Okay, no big deal. Okay, so we don't need this one. Ooh! Show's gonna rock, kids. Look who's here. So good. Look out! Whoa! Get out of here. Whoa, look at that guy. Oh, it's getting hot in here. Pyrocat, look out behind you, Pyrocat. Good job. Got a Pyrocat. He's such a cute little. Bye, Pyrocat. Bye-bye. Mark Miller School of Acting, kids. This show is brought to you by the Mark Miller School of Acting. You want to learn how to be an actor as good as I? Then you can join the Mark Miller School of Acting. Get an honorary degree. I'm going to teach you things like surprise. Yeah. Excitement. In collaboration with Overkill Productions. Someone get that cat a fire extinguisher, says Hugo. Yeah, Coopies Alphas asked, can I have fries with that? What was it like? Was you talking about that feature we were using? Did you see? I'm not sure.
It was the hamburger menu.
Oh, you're so good at this, right?
That was it.
Okay, so button show color controls, mouse down. Did I not have a mouse down on that? Let's go make sure we have a mouse down on that. BTN show property editor. I don't think I have a mouse down on that. Let's go do it. Excuse me. All right, here we go. New event handler. And let's rename. You have to go, Rory?
Sadly so, my friend. It was a little earlier than normal.
No worries.
But I've been told I have errands to run.
Yeah, go do those errands, buddy.
I'll see you tomorrow.
All right, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow.
Man. Have a good one.
We made it through the show all the way up to this point. All right.
Yeah.
Run some errands. Take care of your family. Tell everybody I said hi.
See you soon, bud.
All right, buddy.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Rory is the best. Kids. Hugo asking, how's the new house treating us? We have a problem with our Insta-Hot water heater off to the side. It's an older one that came with the house, and it's shutting off the main power breaker. So if you get in and take a hot shower, click, power goes off, and then there goes the hot water. So welcome to your, outside room temperature water shower, which is not bad, but what Surly Dev? Surly Dev, come on, it's gonna be a little bit better than that. Okay, so there's our open. That's gonna give us a visible. Now we just got to create it. We got to create it around the same time we're creating this stuff here. I'm almost thinking, here, let's jump back over, get some music, bring the music back up here. I'm still playing with the idea of extracting this to its own method, even though it's got a ton of parameters. Like that. All right, and I think I'm also going to say, I almost feel like this should be inside at the end of this. All right, so there's create color controls. Let's at the very least just add the button. Is what I think I want to do. The creation of the button that we just popped in there, that one that we pasted in, we'll just add that code to add that button, and it won't quite do anything. I think it'll actually throw an exception if we click it. But I want something like this. This is button property grid, I think we called it. Nope. Is it show property editor? That's what this is. Like that. Excuse me. And I want to put this on the right. And let's just run that and see if that property editor is showing up on the bottom right. I mean, if the property editor button is showing up on the bottom right. Okay, not bad. I want to move it over. Not quite there. I want it to be right minus button size. Let's try that instead. There we go. Not bad. It's a little too close to this other piece here. I think I want to take send to back and move it to the right. I still want this one aligned to the right. Send to back. Okay. Hold on though, I've got some potential alignment issues here. Let's do I have alignment issues? Well, kind of with this one. Just thinking about symmetry here. With my selection, this is on the right edge of the rightmost piece right here. That is. This is lined right underneath it. There's this little gap between the two for the buttons right there. These are all aligned all the way down. Maybe I do indent this to the left. I'm going to indent it to the left. Okay. There we go. Better. All right. Should we get an exception? Let's see what happens when we click it. Okay. So it's not been added yet. Let's figure out how to add it. So I want something similar to this. Angry little hamster. Roy just left us, angry little hamster. Missed him by about 6 minutes. Yeah, sorry about that. It was great though. It was a great show with Roy. Roy was great. Yeah, a little late to the game. I'm in with property grid. I'm in with property editor. Let's make it 160. I just want to get rid of this magic 160 number in here in the code. And I think I got another 160 in the code somewhere. No. The one that's close to it. 150. Let's do that.
Genesis 7, where are you? We need your help.
There was a time when I was working on a fanfare for Angry Little Hamster. Unfortunately, all the Angry Little Hamster footage was just sad. It was a hamster inside a scientist's laboratory, and the hamster wasn't happy. So I couldn't find anything that was funny. So that was a while ago. Yeah, that was not a successful attempt. Oh no, who's going to save us from Genesco 7? That is a fair point. Let's see. By the way, fanfares have worked through the whole show. I just noticed. Okay, so we need something that basically gets them, sets the width, adds the children. All right. All right, let's go back out where we were. Let's kind of, I think I'm going to do it from scratch. It's going to be kind of right here. We've got a function out here called what? Get property grid. So it's going to get that resource. Oh, look at this! Oh no, look out! You know, the fanfares are still working. You'd think somebody would sue me by now. It's like we're getting close. All right, so let's see what we got here. There's my property grid. What else happens in creek crawler controls after we get it? selection canvas, children to add. We added. Okay, fine. Let's do that. Here's the property grid. We're adding it. All the fanfares working? Says Gorbasaurus. Yes. Okay, and what else are we doing with color controls? Setting its left and top. All right, cool. So we're going to do the same thing here. We want to set its the property grid's top and left. Its left is going to be let's create a new local for this. This is going to be prop grid right edge. That's going to be equal to this. So we'll give that some space there. Oh, you missed it. It's kind of okay. Should we do it again? We'll do it again in a few minutes. Remind me if I haven't done it in a few minutes. We'll do it one more time. Yeah, it's fun. Okay, so we're going to set its left, and its top is going to be the bottom row. Its left is now going to be the prop grid right edge minus the property grid dot width. I think. I don't know if I'm going to use width or actual width here. Yeah, you have to do one of those two. I was putting the spuds on. Does that mean potatoes? You making potatoes? There's so many fanfares. This pudding. Pudding was in instantly this morning. I like start trying to talk and pudding's like, you know, comes the pudding. What else do we need to do? Let's go back inside. We're setting values of the pieces inside. Okay. And we're doing the create button, which we are doing here. That's good. And here we're adding it. So that is important. We need to do that too. Okay. So if it doesn't know the property grid, then we're going to add the property grid and we're going to pass in the button show property editor. And that should fix our bug where we have that exception. There should be a mod command fanfare. I think there is, but I don't remember exactly what it is. Fanfare Groversaurus. It may be that only I can do it. Does that work? No, it does not, but that's okay. Here it is.
I love trash.
I love trash too. Yeah, I'm behind on my fanfares. I'm almost done with my projects around the house. Maybe after this weekend, we'll get close. All right, get a cool background here. I don't know, what am I? That's fine. Let's drop this down. That doesn't look good. That doesn't look good. I close it. Okay, it looks like it just had an initialization problem the first time, but it's kind of working. That location needs to be changed a little bit. I'm hearing tapping. The tapping is dice. That is our die roll engine.
Merkin.
Let's check some wild magic here. We made a new house rule. By the way, I love that. Dice going around. We made a new house rule. Every time we do check wild magic, which checks to see if my magic as the character Merkin goes completely bonkers, which you're supposed to do every time you cast a spell. Not cantrips, just a spell. So we made a new rule that every time we roll, the next time we roll, we add additional dice. So let's check it again. Until we finally get a 1 on it. Look at Surly Deb coming in. Boom. Let's check wild magic again. We get a 1. Switch back over to here. Boom, no. Let's do it again. There's a 1 right there. And then we do the roll of the wild magic. Dungeons and Dragons over the top.
Your age changes
by 2 years. Nice. All right. Anyway, I wanted to roll the dice again because I was hearing the dice in the background. And I think it's done. Shirley's like, what is going on? Why are my coins gone? I was actually here when it happened. And I was like, well, okay, we'll just let all the coins go. I know. That was probably not my best choice. But there was like, I killed the app while it was saving. And that's not good. We need to make it more robust. And I figure we'll do that in the future when coins actually mean something other than just like, I got it. You know? So I thought, you know what? I like Surly Dev, and Surly Dev likes me, I think. Right, Surly Dev? You like me? And he'll forgive me for this. Even though I saw like 20,000 of your coins disappear in that moment. I was thinking, should I go back and find the, try to do a recover on this? And I actually looked into it, and I was like, oh yeah, it's on my C drive. It's, not backed up by Dropbox. It's a little trickier. And I was like, I'm just gonna let it go. You like me? Yay! He likes me. All right. Also, I know how many you had. All right, so we're doing this. We're adding the property grid here. I guess I want to do this. I want to go into no. Let's go to the top. Let's go to window resources. Selection increase. Get to the end because it's near the end. I remember that. Whoops. One more time. Selection increase. Right arrow and then up. Okay. So to do this, we put a grid in. We did the stack panel. I think what we need to do is here, we need to take our stack panel and we need to give it a margin on the top here. So I'll type in M0 and then I'm going to say, just enter here. Then for this, I'm going to say, I don't know, 20 and then 0, 0, 0. And then let's go see how that impacts us out here. There we go. Checked box is further down. Close up, close. Now, why don't we have a background fill in here? No background property for the view box. That one for the, okay, I do it for the grid. There we go. Okay. So maybe not 24. Maybe not 20. Let's try 10. Is this changing based on my zoom level? Also, the zoom in and out is zooming in and out, where this is always staying the same. Why is that? You need to take a look at that. Codebase Alpha is asking, would it be a good idea to split the contents of the XAML file into smaller files? Yeah, I'm not sure how to do that, though, Codebase Alpha. Is it just a simple, basically it's the resources, right? I throw the resources everywhere. I've just been popping them in because it's easy to do. Just, paste from... okay, well, I'm looking at this problem right here. What's going on with that? What's the difference between the two? My property grid is here. The view box. I'm setting the font size. And the font size, I think, controls everything else. Is that true or no? Let's see what's going on with our core CC controls. Yeah. I'd have to look into that because if I make a user control, it's kind of got a special, it's got some framework pieces that I'm not really certain about. I kind of have to look at what that glue is, what the architecture is on the outside. Like, is it enough to just create a user control and then copy and paste the XAML across, or what exactly is it? You know, and I also think I can just create a separate resource file that's got Windows resources in it, but I'm not sure how to do it. I'll have to look into that. Maybe I'll look into it for tomorrow's show, if I have time tomorrow morning. So I'm not seeing anything that's happening here in Create Color Controls. Is there any other place where we are modifying the internals of it? There's not. Well, we're setting the width. We are setting the width. Yes. That's what's happening. Okay, hold on. I want to pass this in. Okay. All right, since I'm passing in, I'm going to change parameters. So are we using pixel width anymore? We're not using it anymore. All right, I'm just going to simply replace that with new width. And here I'm going to also put in new width there. All right, cool. That means then under property grid, we want to say property grid dot width is equal to new width. No. Really? Okay, there we go. Now run. Oh! That's what happens when I take damage on the shell. That's what happens when we get health back. If you haven't seen this effect, kids, it's pretty cool. It's 3D. I love this. Especially when I'm like, hey, stop it. Like that. And I really want it, I want these effects to actually follow my head. Like if I move around, I want the effects to move with me, and I'm not far from being able to do that, but I just got to devote time to do it and make it important. But it's pretty cool. And it's subtle. It's actually a huge amount of work for a subtle effect. But, all right. So let's see. We have this, and I want to go grab something and pop it down. And initially we have a problem where they're both appearing. I've got to turn one off, I think. Oh, and this is problematic. Yeah, there we go. All right, so there. So now, no matter what, it stays the same size. So that's not bad. Why is it showing both of them? What's my logic problem in here? Oh, I'm not calling. Hold on. I think I'm not sure if this is the problem or not. I'm not calling this, and I think this is needed for setup. Right there. I think. Let's see if that works. All right, this feels like it's behaving better. Close it. Open it. Close property grid. Nice. Way better. Just want to get some, get the text correct in here. So we got high contrast. We got low contrast text right now. It's not so good. Let's fill the properties out. And in this case, I want to go through all the selections. This is interesting because we want to be able to support editing all the properties even if they don't match. It's going to take a little bit of thought. Let's work with Booleans to begin with, and we'll take it a step up from there. So we might be able to do this with edit and continue, keep the program running. Put a breakpoint here, zoom out, get it set. And now we're going to say populate property grid. Okay. Oh, geez, thanks so much. Yeah, did hide not work? Close didn't work? Did we lose control? Or is close just not? I forget what the, I think it's test close or something is what the command is. Yeah, we didn't lose control. We're good. How you doing, baby? In every way? Excellent in every way? Yeah? You want to say hi to everybody? Yeah, look at me in my fancy shirt. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to come up a little bit higher and say hi?
So hard to do this, kid. All right, wait, I have to do this.
No, that's not bad. Well, careful. You're pulling my, I'm very carefully put together here, right?
How's your show going?
It's going really well,
No?
actually.
How's it going, Fred?
Troubles in, what is that, Monkey Land? What is that? Troubles in the monkey there. Copper Beauty's out there. Codebase Alpha, Surly Dev's here. Surly Dev just got out of, Surly Dev lost 24,000 coins, Coders coins. Well, nothing really. We did Coders coins, don't do anything, but he's been collecting them, and now he's very sad. Gonna take my slow cooker to my mom's
Ooh, what's
and
in a
mope
slow
into a meal. Oh yeah.
I'm a big slow cooker fan.
Yeah. Notice Codebase Alpha says don't stand next to Merkin when he casts a spell. So the good news is, kids, we're trying to get a new Dungeon Master, putting that out on Backstage.com, and I've gotten a number of cool responses. So we'll be hopefully interviewing, and we'll find somebody to replace us, and it's for our Dragon Humper show that we'll be... No, not a chance.
Oh, guess what I'm going to do?
What are you going to do?
I've never been blonde before in my life. Do you think I should be blonde, kids? Alright, if you think I should be blonde, yeah. No, what do you think? Oh,
I'm just pointing out Twitch that he was Dragon Humper.
I think it'll be fun. Don't you think it will be like, it'll be a whole new world?
Hold on, I forget how to do this. Karen, go blonde. Like that, and then I get comma 1 equals yes. I don't remember how to do this. How do I do my polls? We added this a long time ago.
This is a real thing?
Yeah.
Kind of cool.
If I get it right, it'll work, but it's probably not gonna work. Dude,
Yeah.
no, it could crash the whole thing.
It's probably not gonna work.
Look at that. I think it's gonna work. Should Karen go blonde? So now,
They're gonna all say yes because it's, what this is it's a yes. Yes, if you think Karen should go blonde, and that's what I think. And no, Mark.
yes, we gotta know. I'm gonna help out with that. Cover Betty says no. 3 for bald to match Mark. No, no, we
Oh,
don't
bald.
even.
I want to go bald.
No, no, no.
Oh, this is
Just
a big thing.
the-
I
you're-
want to go bald on my birthday. I want to like shave my head, blast the patriarchy, like switch things up a little bit. And Mark Miller is living in fear. We're like
No.
in bed at night. He's like,
Look at that. It's unanimous.
really?
Unanimous.
A 3. Okay, what's 3?
3 was his option to go bald. Yeah, that's Michael Jolly, by the
Really,
way.
not one person says yes? I'm
We're-
gonna go do it right now.
I'm gonna find out where you are, Michael. I'm gonna show up live on your show, and I'm gonna be like, like that.
Okay, so Hugo, yeah, I will do the like the purple teal streaks because you know.
That might
like,
look
up in
okay.
here. And then
I need
the
some
rest
contrast. I need contrast between your face and your. I see you look, I can see you sticking your tongue out if I turn, and I can also see it on the monitor live. Yeah, this doesn't. No. All right.
Okay, I think we have to go get blonde right now.
No. Ending the show immediately. What do you
I
know?
really think that bald is the way to go.
No.
So just, how about
No matching outfits, Michael.
I do have matching outfits for us. I have like matching bodysuits. I want you to wear one and then us to be backup singers.
Remember when I was with Mini
Vern
Me?
Troyer.
Yeah, Vern Troyer.
So Dev Express once had Mark Miller do this coding event where he came in a Segway, a big Segway. Vern Troyer came in dressed exactly as Mark with his bald head mini from the Oscar horror movie on a little baby scooter, and they coded together. It was hysterical.
Yeah.
Oh, do you have the pictures?
I don't know. I think there's a video of it,
There are videos of it.
but
Hmm.
I don't see him.
It was pretty funny.
Yeah.
He's since passed away, but we learned this about that man. He can drink 3 martinis.
Cryptodor says thanks for all the tips and tricks for Codex. You're welcome. We'll see you next time. Cryptodor, glad to have you with us.
Oh, green. And then when you come on camera, you're resolved.
Yeah.
Great idea.
All right.
I'm making you
Okay. It's Litany's out there as well. Thanks, It's Litany. Nice to see you. Thanks for voting in the poll. Bye, baby. Go teach. Have fun. All right. Got hard to hear sex positive. Yeah, she was heading out is what she was doing. She got far away. Oops. Okay, populate property grid. I got a selected stamps, I think. It's inside my map, isn't it? Selected stamps. All right, here's where we can go through all the stamps. It's going to get a little crazy. I also need to remove that temporary one that we've got. This guy. In fact, maybe I'll just take, oh no wait, not that guy, this guy. No wait. This. Okay, I'm actually going to kill everything because I want to give these a name and I want to be able to find them. I need to be able to find the pieces I need here. So we're going to, this is what we want to add to right here. So I want to call this the, can I get to it if I give it a key right here? It says no. It's got to be up at the higher level. I can probably give it a name though. And we'll call this the SP property editors. Here's where we'll stack up our property editors right here. And then we need some way to find this. And I forget how to do that. like easily. I think there's a way to do, I think every time I find this, it's like go find a visual control out there to do it. And I think what I really want is something that looks like this. Stack panel. So the client code is going to look like this. We'll write this in another method. So we can get all messy here. Okay. Start building this here. Property grid dot content is what? It is first tell there's a view box. Then we have content again, children, child. And inside there we have the grid. And then children, like, whoops. Here, I think I can check the name. No name. We get it. Is it in framework element? There it is. I'm going to change that to framework element. And if the name is equal to SP property editors, we're going to say return, return that as a stack panel. And then return null here. That's what I'm feeling it looks like. So there's get property editors. Here's my property editors. Now I can come down in here and I can say children.clear. Like that. Now we need to first collect all properties and whether they're the same or not. And so that's going to return some data, which is going to be, I think we need to collect a list of classes, I think, and this is going to be property data, I think. I can't think of a great name for this. Property type, property value data. Okay, so in here, then we're going to have a type of it, and so there's a couple different types we're going to support. So we'll say we'll call this property type. Make this an enum. And so one of those types is going to be a Boolean. Another is going to be a string. Another is going to be a number. and make this an integer, decimal, double. So those are the types that we'll support, that I can think of that imagine as supporting. Each of these will have a different control associated with it. So an integer will allow no decimal, it'll just be a number, numeric up, down. Decimal will have 2 decimal places, and a double will have a larger number of decimal places. So we need to create editors for each one of these. And so one of the pieces of the property value data is going to tell us what the type of the property is. So it's going to have some properties. It's going to have the name of the property. I think it's going to also have something called the display name of the property. So what the text would be for the checkbox or the label, that sort of thing. It's going to have the type of it. And we need a Boolean that says I'm kind of playing with this right now. We'll set it to null if it's and then let's do this one here. Numeric value, and then one more type string, nullable, and call it the string value. Lawrence T. Phil is following. Thanks for the follow. We're going to way up to 2,000 followers. Chilling out. No, I can't do nullable strings. Okay, I can, because I can null it out already. Okay. Okay, so now I need something that holds a whole bunch of these. I think I need one more property. A Boolean property says at least compared once. And then that means I also need a compare method in here. Where I'm going to take an instance in, check the properties of that instance, and set compared once to true. We'll use reflection to get those property values. And st set compared once true. Okay, I think when we initialize, I think we're also passing in an instance. And then here, our to-do is going to be determine, we need an instance and we need a property name here. All field values. Okay. So now for every property, yeah, so I think we need a class property value comparer, something like that. This, it's going to have a new list of these. All I want to do is call it data. Is there a better name for this? for comparisons. Let's do this. Okay, now that means I need to create a new instance of this. And then I want to do this, compare, and pass in the stamp properties. Oops. So now let's go compare. All right, here's where we got to do some reflection on it. What is it? Can I get myself through here? Get type dot get properties. Look at this. Am I really going to use IntelliSense to work my way through reflection? Is that going to work? It's going to give me all my properties. I don't want to go through each one. How do I get the attributes on that? Control Frenzy is now following. How do I get attributes? It's really, really helpful. We've got code somewhere else that does this. I have the next reference here. Nothing else here. I'm not using it here in this solution. Is that what's going on? I really thought there was a way. Wait, let's see. Let's just see if we review any other code out there. Nope. Okay. Yeah, nothing that has the word attributes in it. Oh, wait, hold on. On property info. I have the wrong piece here. This I think is going to be more fruitful. Here we go. Custom attributes. Get. So, here we go. Get custom attributes. Sweet. Sweet. All right, that's what I want. Okay. So now I'm going to go through here and for each attribute and get custom attributes. Sweet. Now what we want to do is check to see. I'm going to put a breakpoint right here. We use that and continue. We're looking for this attribute, which we added. We created this yesterday. That's what we're looking for. Editable property attribute. And we've given that just over any property we want to be able to edit at design or at runtime. That's what we're looking for. Does it have it? So let's set a breakpoint there and see if we hit it. Let me clean up just a little bit before we run. Because I want to put these in their own files. Because I've just added them right here inside the class. I'm going to have to move them outside the class first. And then we can move them to your own files. It's sitting too long to do this. I want this to be instance 1, 2, 3, reset the file. Boom, want it done, and back. Yeah, now granted, we're adding, we're calling Visual Studio Features right here to add the new file to the solution. I don't want it to be like boom, boom, very fast and back. And then we're like back on a little scale. Maybe I hit the skip too much? Too many times? I'm not sure. Alright, let's run. See what we can do without it continue. Breakpoint there. Okay. Let's drag this down, drop it down there. Show property editor. Populate property grid. Set a breakpoint at the very end here. Let's just hit run. Nice. We get here. Let's set a breakpoint here. See if we get an attribute. And also set one at the end of the method and hit run. Nice. We're in the attribute. All right. Oh, this is the JSON ignore. I don't care about that one. So what else we got? Here's the one I want. So I'm looking for, how am I going to, full name. I could compare it on that right there. Can I copy that to the clipboard? All right. So if attribute dot full name, no? Oh, type ID. No? How do I get this? Is it get typed at full name? There it is. I guess that's it. Alright, let's see if we get to this breakpoint here. Nope. That was not it. Come back up. Let's look at it again. How did I find you? Type ID. It's just full name on type ID. Why didn't I see IntelliSense for that though? Oh, because it's a different type than what it is, isn't it? What's my type ID? It's not telling me what the type is of it. I'm totally confused as to why it's not showing me the type here. If I put it in the watch window, it'll show me the type of it here. Okay. Let me add it to the watch window now. The system runtime type. Okay, so I think what we have to do is this. If this is system dot runtime type, really, what do we need here now? Where's that declared? Oh, come on. I can't get it. I got to do a using kind of thing out here. I'm going to have to stop. Why can't I get that? Not finding it. Where is runtime type declared? I feel like we should be really close. The answer should not be this elusive. What assembly? Can you tell me here? Oh, it's not public. All right, let's try something different. What? Where were we here? Let's set a breakpoint in here. Run it again. Yeah, that's going to be the system runtime type, I think, is what's going to be, and I can't typecast it. How do I find out the attribute name? Yeah, system.runtime type. That's not going to help us. The type ID by itself only has get type. I wonder, hold on. Is the attribute itself? It's actually of the type we want. I was making this way too hard. Okay, sorry about that, kids. That happens every once in a while. Guess who's back? Back again. Good pudding. Let's see, editable property. Attribute, how about that? Editable property. Attribute. Alright. If that's the case, then we come down in here. I think that's going to step us right down inside the brace. Sweet. Okay, so that's all we need to do. Okay. Cool. Now we can create a new list of these if we need to. Come on. So here's our existing comparison right here, if it already exists. Basically just checking to see if the property name is the same. What's happening here? That's why that's got a underline on it. Everybody that's in. Here. Capturing variable property info that has been captured before will prevent the location from continuing. Can I set the breakpoint up, set the statement up here? Okay, I think I have to delete this because it hadn't been taken before. Come up here, set next statement, and then come back down and paste it. What? Seriously? Oh wait, watch this. Hit F10 and now paste it? No, come on. I think we can do it. Hold on. Set next statement. F10 here. And do it. And if this doesn't work, I've got one more way I can try. Is that going to kill it? Yep, that doesn't like it either. Okay, let's get out of here. Shift 11. Shift 11. All right, now come in, back in and put it in. And now edit and continue. No, come on. Edit and continue. Why? Oh, because it's a first or default. Okay. That's the problem. Okay. Let's do this. Okay, build this. Should be good now. How's that? Everybody happy now? Good. Okay, there's that piece right there. Get inside, come back down here. Look for an existing comparison. If there's no comparison, we need to add a new comparison. So we're going to say create comparison. And we're going to pass in the property info. And we need to pass in the display text if it's been specified. So display text is what's optionally created if I specify an attribute and pass in some text to it. All right, cool? Cool. So create comparison, let's build that. Yeah, I feel like we're getting close. So now we need to create a new property value data. Now, well, one other thing we need to do, we're going to create a new one there, but we need to come down and we need to take our existing comparison and call compare on it. And I've passed in a instance there, but I'm going to pass in the property info. That's all I need to send to it. Oh, no, wait. And the instance. Sorry, hold on. Instance, and then the property info. Like that. Oh yeah, everything doesn't like that. We'll kill it, but we need it. We'll restart. So we create a comparison, or it needs a comparison. Go compare. Cool. So let's look at create comparison. Build that. I need the instance as well. Let's go look at these, make sure these are set. And what we're expecting them to do, determine our field values here. I think I could do this instead. It's probably better if I do that. Like that. And then I want to go into our comparisons and add it. that's my comparison. My new property value data. We've got to determine the values. Are we using system reflection? We are. We got to do comparison as well. Okay. All right. And then for comparison, and then we're going to do compare. This might work. We might not be very far away. Set a breakpoint here. Breakpoint there. Let's run it. Okay, dropping it down. So get comparison comes. Comparisons is null. Okay, cool. So big comparison is going to come back with nothing. We're going to create a new comparison. Here it comes. And now we need to determine all the values here. So what's in property info? And instance is going to get us that. I think property info's got a get value. Sweet. And it needs the instance. That's all it needs. There's our value coming back. Property info is going to be able to tell us the type too, I think, right? Property type. Sweet. Nope, it's just property like that. Let's do a switch statement on that. And can we do a switch on property on a type? I bet we can. Or we could do dot full name. Fine. I'm going to say system dot string. Like that. And we're going to say our property type is equal dot int 32. I think it's double, is that right? Or float? I don't know which one it is. Don't remember which one. Let's get the reference to it and drill into it. So system dot double with an uppercase D. Yeah, that looks right. Okay, we're good. And Boolean. We need decimal. Nope. And then Boolean, I think, is the last one. Like that. Okay. So that'll set. Let's just run that. So there's the value. The value is null. What's my property name? Oh, it's the actual name property. Okay, so null has been set in. And there it is, type is there. So we've got the value. Now, if that's the case, then what we want to do is we want to say in string, we want to say, well, the string value is equal to value as a string. Like that. That's what we want to do there. Here we want to say I think we call it numeric value is equal to value as fine. No, it's gonna want TB anyway. Double, I think, right? No, you got a cast. Better. No, can't do that. All right. And then we're going to have one down here called bool value. All right. So let's do the execute this line of code yet. Assume that's going to work. String value is null. That's okay because it's name none the default to null. So I've taken care of these. I've taken care of this. Display name and name are not set yet. I don't want to put them up here, that code. So I'm going to say name is equal to property info dot name and shoot. Display name equals, we need one more piece of data sent in. So kill the app. Well, there it is right there for display text. Sweet. All right, so then we're going to display name is equal to that. Let's change this from display name to display text. All right. Cool. Run it again. See you out there, ball-bearded builder, buddy. In big trouble. Okay, here we go. All right, here we go. The name is name. Display text is probably nothing. Okay, cool. quickly realizing I need the swap these two around here. There we go. So if the display text is not set and the full-time name is not, in other words, we're not going to have a checkbox, then I need the display text to have a colon out and a space after it, just so that we can, that's just what I want it to look like inside of the property grid. Okay, so all right, so there's one. Let's continue to run it. What's my next one? My next property is a collectible. This is a Boolean. Cool. So coming in here, that's going to be a big fat 0 coming back. So create comparison is in there. Let's have a breakpoint over here. Just going to look at watch the create comparison here. Let's turn on. There we go. Cool. All right. So there's a Boolean value coming in is now false. Display text is null. Collectible. I want to do this though. I want to have this special else. I'm going to say just display text is equal to name. Just want to clean, just get them so we're out of here. We've got display text non-null by the time we get out. Sweet. All right. Collectible. Nice. I'm feeling pretty good about this now. That one's good. Compare, we got it right. And now we don't ever call compare because we only have one item selected. So, okay, let's go ahead and populate it then based on that. So we get all these out and we're done. Then we do a for each on our comparisons. So cut that to clipboard, FE for each right there. That's going to get us all right here. And then we basically, for each one of these, we want to say something like get. We're going to have something called a UI element here. Passing in that data, and then we're going to let's call this editor. Call this get editor, better, like that. And then we're going to say children.add editor, like that. And it's a stack panel, so they're just going to stack on top of each other. Sweet. All right, let's look at get editor now. Build that. Got the type property here. I'm going to do a switch here, and I'm going to say, hey, if it's a Boolean, I'm going to say return get Boolean editor. Passing in property value data, like that. This was going to be return string editor. This one's going to be return integer editor. There's my decimal editor. And my double editor. And down here, we're going to do, we don't get out of there, we're just going to return null. The get editor is there. I should also check for null. Okay, cool. Let's go back up there and let's build these. I think I'm going to comment all these out for now. We'll uncomment these out tomorrow when we build the rest of these. Let's just build a get Boolean editor for right now. Okay, So we want to create a new checkbox. That, and I also might do this where we design it in XAML and grab the resource, but right now I'm going to just put it right here. Checkbox. What is the bool value? So we'll say, hey, if this bool value dot has value, that means everything, all the comparisons, got it to a single state. Which means we can say checkbox.checked is equal to bool value.value. Like that. Checkbox.content equals, and I think we can just set it to the string. My property value data is dot display text. I think that'll work. So go to checkbox, and I think that's all I need to do. Return the checkbox. Will it work, kids? Here we go. We need to get the caret up here. Set this as the next statement. We've been doing this in edit and continue. Got 8 comparisons. Null for the first one. That's okay. That was probably the name property. I think we're going to get a Boolean though next. There we go. Look at that. Got a checkbox back. And it's not checked. Sweet. There's 1. Set a breakpoint here. 2, 3, 4, and we're out. 4 checkboxes. If we go to here, we should see 4 Booleans. 1, 2. I don't see 4 Booleans. Collectible, hideable. Ooh, enums. We forgot about enums. Enums aren't bools. Huh. Not sure which ones those are. Let's keep going. See what happens. We just need to populate. Let's just run it. Will we see them? Just gonna hit run. Get out of here. Hold on. Clear. Clear. What do we got when we pop it open? Look at that. I don't like the text color as white, but sweet. All right, not bad. All right, next let's make them actually work. Oh, why do I have cover and altitude? Hold on, clickable, hideable, cover, altitude. Those are not Booleans, but they are enums. So right now we just got collectible and hideable. That's what we have. Sweet though. From a usability standpoint, I like it. Being able to pop that up. I don't like the margin over here on the right. We obviously need some cleanup, but it's going to allow us to do the things we want to do. Also, I'm not a fan of the Z order issue here. Anything open should cover any other buttons behind it. Yeah, like this one does. I think we can fix the Z order out over here. It's the order in which we add it in the code, I think. that's my issue. I need to fix it down. So for example, in create color controls, create the button afterwards. Here we add it. Create button. This should add it afterwards as well. Oh, but then the other one is on top of that. We need to set the Z order. Can we do that? Here's Z order property. Forget how to do this. Set Z index. Let's see what happens with that. Let me run it. There we go. That fixed it. Sweet. Presumably, would have to say, well, we don't because we're the order in which we're creating it. So it's okay for now. I don't like this showing it here. It should be here, though. It should replace it here. Let's look at that. The not minus button size. Top grid, right edge. Okay, let's do this. Right here, when we put the button, we'll subtract it there. That should get us something that's a little cleaner now. There, nice. And it's on the right side, so mouse doesn't have to move far from where we click. Let's change the text color of those. Property grid, property editors. Get editor. Boolean editor. No, let's go out to the XAML instead. Wait, where is it? Isn't there like a font? No. Foreground, isn't it? Is that what it is? That's it. Foreground is equal to white. I think that's all I need to do to fix it. Okay, let's go back and see if that works. Let's recreate it. No. I'm gonna try rerunning it. Let's see who else is out there streaming right now from the live coders team. Bald bearded builder.
number on how to mount that file storage to our services correctly.
All right, let's see. Where's my running out? There it is, right there. Let's bring it over here. Drop one of these controls down on it. Click up our property editor. Really didn't work. Go into the XAML. Property grid, foreground white. Is the foreground being changed somewhere else on us? Grid does not have a foreground control. So what about this guy? No, you don't have foreground either. You got background but no foreground. And Jukebox doesn't either, right? Okay. So I guess we gotta manually set it. That feels kind of dumb. There's a git prop editor, what we called it. What's happening here? Did I lose focus? Looks like I lost focus. That's what I wanted. Keep pulling editor. All right. So we're going to come in here. We will manually set it. As awkward and uncomfortable as that feels. We could also do this with the style, I think, as well. I can do it now because I'm distracted by the color. And then we're going to make it so that these can write back and forth. There we go. Better. Let's hit some margins for these guys as well. Uh, 4 0 4 0. Try that. Better. So we've got collectible and hideable. Cover and altitude are slipping through because they're enums. So we need to look for this specifically and fix those. Next, we need to make it so that when we change these, it actually maps to and changes live this property here. And I know my brain is like, oh, you know, Mark, end the show for God's sakes, right? You've got other stuff you've got to do. But I'm like, oh, but just a little bit more. I think we can finish. I think we're almost done. We're almost at the point where we're actually modifying these. And kind of where I want to head with it. Let's play. Let's see what we can do here. We need an event handler to check it. We also need, I actually think I don't want to use the checkbox. I want to create a checkbox descendant. And we're going to call this a Boolean editor, like that. And we want to give it its own file. And we are going to come back. Let's come back. We're going to create a new one of these instead. Then we're going to say checkbox. Dot property name equals. Should I just give it this whole thing? I don't know. I don't think I did. I'm going to give it just a piece of it. So we're going to say it's going to pass equal to the name. So that's going to be the member name. We're going to call it member name. Property name's okay. I want to call it property type. Like this is equal to the type. And I think those are the only two things I need. Let's declare those. Okay, so now we've passed both of those in there, and we need a on-click event handler for this thing. So on check change checked. Oh, I need the instance too. Do I? Oh, wait. I don't know if I need to store the instance or not. I don't think I do. So we're just going to work with the selection, so we're okay. That will give us all those instances we need. So, and I don't think I need the value either, because the value is going to happen when there's a change. Do we have an unchecked in here as well? We do. Okay, so let's duplicate this and change this to unchecked. Right there. So whenever the check changes, we'll be in this space. Okay, so now there's the change. We need to go through our map.selected stamps. Now we're going to put the value back out and change it. Do we want to support undo? I think we do. So we're going to bring in the undo that we implemented a couple of days ago using the command design pattern. So execute command. I think I've got an overload. It just takes the command name. Yeah, command type right there was the same name. So we're going to call this change Boolean property. And the data is going to, we're going to have to create some data for it. We need to create a command for it. Wow. Going back in, like coming full circle here with the map editor here. Where are our commands? They're down low, aren't they? They're down here. Okay. Yeah. What's cool is we'll be able to undo what we're doing. It's going to be so cool. I just need something as kind of a, oh, that's a mess. That's pretty simple. Well, base stamp absolute value command. I think we're going to need something similar to this. This is going to be a base stamp Boolean value command. It's going to modify Boolean values, and our undo values are we're going to store a bunch of bools like that. Redo value is going to be a bool. So like, for example, we check, everything, its previous state's got to be saved, so we can undo it. Save value. It's going to be that. Get value. It's going to be this. This one's going to be returned false. Redo. We're going to call this bool change data. And all right, let's pop this over into this one file. Let's such as an ancestor class to store a bunch of data for undo and redo. Gives us save values, get value, protected methods we can call from descendants. I got to declare this. The bool Okay, bool change data we need to create around the time right around here. We need to pop that in there. So we need to get our Boolean checkbox. So we say if not, sender is Boolean editor. And get out of here. And we want to pass in Boolean editor dot have control for options H for hierarchy, 0 just to look inside the Boolean editor so we can clear out all that noise and just look at the two pieces we've got here. So property name is one of those pieces. We know the property types of Boolean, so we don't need the other piece. So there's that piece, and then we need its direction, which way we're going. Which is going to be, are we checked or not? Is checked. There, that's what we want right there. So there's my new bool change data. Let's declare that. All right, property name, whether we're checked or not. This does not have to be nullable. I'm going to do that and go back into it. Make this there. Now let's declare properties. Declare property. And I think we're calling this value. Let's see if that's how we're referencing it. I thought we were down in here. Oh, Boolean change data. Right? Isn't that it? No, Boolean change data. What do we call it? Boolean change data. Oh, wrong file. We're in the wrong namespace. This is in maps spike. We need to move this down. It's up here. We need to move it down. Okay. Still, I'm not getting a hit there. Why am I not getting a hit on Boolean? Why am I not seeing it here? Oh, because we'll change data now. Okay. All right. I think that's the going forward piece. Now we have to create. We still have to create that. That's at least the architecture pieces in place. Now we need to create the change Boolean property, which is going to be a descendant of this thing right here. All right, let's look at, I want to look at and see how descendants of the other, this one works. We just have these method overrides. That's what we want, code that looks like that. So we want that inside of, inside of this guy. Okay, let's move back to file. Okay, now the difference here though is in the others we knew what the property was, and so we just access it directly. QShift, for example. Here we don't know that, so we're going to have to use reflection in all of these places. And I know you might be thinking, wait, reflection mark, you know, what's going on? But the whole point of this is so that I can just add a new property, give it an attribute that says it's editable, and we get a built-in UI editor for it, and I make a change and it changes everywhere. So yes, it makes sense. So we need to replace this with something that looks like this. Get property. Call it get Boolean value. Wait, what is this expecting? Yeah, it's looking for Boolean. So I'm going to call this get bool value, passing in that, and then also passing in the base dot. What are we calling it? What's our property in our base? Nothing. No IntelliSense. We added properties to be able to read. But we did not. I need to do this. Okay, hold on. And here we have the property name. We say, all right, now we want to say, like that, property name. Yeah, this is going to be so cool when this works. So this is going to be changing properties and supporting undo and redo as we go through it. All right, so there's get bool value. And then we need a set bool value here, which is going to take in the stamp property instance, the property name, and the redo value. Is that right? Yes. Pretty sure redo value is going to be correct by the time this is called, and it's going to be redo value. Is it a Boolean? Look at that. It is. Sweet. So redo value is going to be prepped for us here in the call to redo before we call base redo. So that'll be set up for us automatically. So that should all work. Should be good. Set bool value, property name. We need to get property name here as well. That. Why not do this with execution? Let's do this. Hold on. I need to prepare for execution. I want this code to be a little cleaner. Okay, here's what I want to do. I can prepare for execution override here. I do not. So let's override that. I want to do this. So we're going to set the property name here. And we're going to do it on our redo as well, just in case. Just in case. Where we set it up here. We're going to do the same thing here. Like that. Like that. Back! Back again. We're getting really close. I'm in my head, I'm keep doing this, stop, Mark, stop! Stop the show! But I'm like, I really want to nail this, because when it's complete, it's like, it's so good. All right. So here we go. We need to go back out over here, and we need this becomes property name, and this becomes property name, and so there's set bool value. We're going to add that in a second, and then activate undo. I'm going to do the same thing, set bool value, property name, and then we're going to call what get value. Yeah. So this should be here, like that. So that's our undo, where we go back in time and we go through the, this should actually be called get saved value. Like that. Okay, there's, now that I've changed that, I want to go to, not this one, this one. We call this get saved value as well. Okay. All right. May hay while the sun shines, or make streams while the power stays up. Yeah, exactly. It makes up for yesterday, doesn't it? Yesterday was like just barely, you know, touching the keyboard, and I was out. Okay, now we just need these two. Set bool value, get bool value. And that's some reflection. I think it looks like this. Get type. Get property. Property name. It's going to give me a property info back. God, it's as if I look like I'm an expert here. I'm going to say if that's null by chance, we're going to return false. And we'll step through this code, make sure it all works. Right? I always get nervous when I've written code for a certain amount of time and I haven't tested. And I've been writing code, I feel like, for about a half an hour now, maybe 40 minutes. So we've been kind of cranking for writing a lot of code. No testing yet. But, you know, sometimes that's the case. The longest I've ever written code without testing, and I'm not proud of this, was 3 weeks. I wrote architecture and crazy stuff for 3 weeks. I'm a better developer than I was back then. Okay, so now we've got property dot, now is our get value? Look at that, right up there, get value. And now we need the instance, which is right in here. We'll stamp properties, which I'm going to rename to instance. Dot. And I think that's all we need. And I think it's going to look like this. Return typecast to a bool. I think that's get bool value using reflection. Set bool value is next. Let's declare that. Michael Jolly's just watching Michael over here on the other stream, monitoring him while as well, because I think I'm going to raid you over to him. I want to see when he starts doing something cool. That's probably the best time to do the raid, isn't it? All right, let's do the same thing. I think we're going to need the same kind of thing down here, but this is going to become a set value, not returning anything. That's type instance. This is going to call this my value. Like this. Set value instance. Is it as simple as that? I think that's it. We might actually have this working now. We might be finished with the code. See if it actually works. Let's set some breakpoints here. What's my problem here? Conflicts. Thought I moved it, but apparently I just copied it. Okay, let's delete it. And set a breakpoint there. Build has been canceled. Okay. Run. Now, while I think undo and redo will be supported if the dialog is up, I don't think it's going to update the values inside. We need to do that. In other words, I think the data will actually change in the instances of the objects when we undo, but I don't think the view to the data will change. So here we go. Popping this up, bring this up. If I click on collectible, execute command, change Boolean property. Property name is called collectible. Setting in whether it's true or not. Here we go. Let's follow it through. There's our change data. We'll get out of that. Stepping in here. This is just from our architecture that we wrote the other day for our undo and redo. Going to the command factory. Look at this. I look like a professional developer with this code, kids. Oops, I hit F10. That was the one I wanted to step into. All right. Well, let's just see what happens if I click on something else and bring up the editor for it. Oops. Drop another item on it. And here, notice it's not collectible. Let's see what happens when we click here. Look at that, kids. We've persisted it. My brain's screaming, stop the show, Mark. Stop the show now. Now's your time to stop. Is it my time to stop? If I shift click both of them, ooh, we get into compare. We haven't actually done this. I think I should stop the show. That's what I'm gonna do. We'll send you over to Michael, Charlie. He's gonna take care of you. That's what we're gonna do. Send you over to Michael. Kids, thanks so much for being with us. We'll finish this up tomorrow. We're really close. It's looking good. And I contend, although I haven't tested, that we've got undo redo. Let me try that. Let me run it, because I didn't actually do that. Yeah, we'll keep our breakpoint here. We'll test this part tomorrow, but I want to test undo redo. Get through all these breakpoints here. Then I'll raid you. Yeah, thanks, Shirley. Come on, are we in like a loop here? Oh, yeah, there we go. Ah! Alright, fine, I'll start clearing some of these breakpoints. Alright. I thought we were dragging them. Okay, hold on. I want to prove that undo and redo are still working. Okay, so let's say hideable. Yeah, this is without even stepping through the code. Oh, so I made this hideable. Now I'm going to come down here, make this hideable. Then I'm going to make this one collectible. And now I'm going to, so there you can see that. Now let's hit undo. Bring this up. Look at that. I think I just moved it a bit. Undo. Undo again. Oh, it's changing and updating. Redo, 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 redo. Let's see. Undo, undo, undo. Oh, because I changed the redo stack by moving it. That's what's happening, which means, hold on. I should be able to come in here, clear that, check that, undo, undo, redo, redo. Yeah, it's sweet. It's really sweet. All right, kids, say hi to Michael Jolly for me. We'll talk to you later.